bet you now it fixed it. Yep, pmdg 77f. Yep.
Of course.
Alright, so I'm going to see something real quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, so I don't know why there's okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
Not checked. pmdg 77.
Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft. Not checked. pmdg 77.
Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft. Ops 31.0. Ops 31.0.3. Volume properties music slash O checkbox checked. Not checked. Volume proper music slash O blue checkbox not checked. Proper volume music slash O checkbox checked. Not checked.
alright, now I've unmuted my mic
Flight Simulator.
and
Microsoft.
I unmuted the
Ops
desktop.
31.0. Ops 31.0.3.
And
Volume
now
proper
you
music
can
slash O
hear
checkbox checked. Not checked.
my desktop.
Volume
My
proper music slash O
screen
blue
reader.
checkbox not checked. Proper volume music slash O checkbox checked. Not checked.
Which is what we want. Alright, now I've unmuted my
Yeah.
mic.
Flight Simulator.
That way
Microsoft.
people know what's going on.
Ops 31.0.1.0. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
And
Microsoft
now
Flight
you
Simulator.
can
Music slash O
hear,
checkbox
alright,
checked.
let me,
Ops 30, 80,
my
PMDG
desktop.
77, 80, PM,
My
button, grab
screen
sliders,
reader.
button, okay, button, shift, plus F, button, menu, box check, a mute keyboard shortcut.
Alright, there. Now you should hear, when you start listening,
Mm-hmm.
you should hear my screen reader
Screen reader.
along with everything else,
Okay.
plus my audio. Should. And I'm hoping it don't do like double sounds on the sim, but I don't think it is. So we'll see. So with that said, what would you doing, man? Watching one of your shows, I'm guessing?
No, I was just relaxing, reading a book.
What are you reading?
I'm reading a Star Wars book.
Nice. Yeah,
Yep.
my friend Andy, he reads a lot of books. I don't do the reading thing as much, but I used to.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in school and stuff like that, but I don't know, I like watching movies. Probably overall, I'd say movies is my thing over like reading books compared to that.
That's understandable.
I thought you was watching that new show that you said just came out.
Black Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror. That's what it was called.
No, I've only watched the first episode of it. I'm probably going to watch that maybe tomorrow.
8:39 p.m. 4 messages. Collapse stack.
Oh, okay.
Andy A. How's the 77? Show notifications. Flashlight.
Black Mirror is good, though.
Button.
Yeah, I've heard
Basic.
other people talk about it.
Location 51 times in the Always allow. Button. Always allow. Button.
Come on, shut up.
Doc.
One
Messages.
second, guys. Somebody messaged me.
Message received. Conversations. Brandon 1. Amanda. Dictate. Converse 1. 7 6 5 7 7
Who is
7,
this?
6,
Mark
9, 2.
Allen.
Unread. Have they been over there to that apartment? Actions available. Messages. 1765. Message. Text message RCS. Message. Dictate. Go.
I've not seen anyone over there. Comma, no. Period.
Inserted message. Text send. Button. Send message. Send.
One of my neighbors recently moved out.
Oh boy.
I think I already told you about it. Because her old man
Yeah.
was wanting to
Right. Yeah, you
abuse her,
did.
so.
Yep.
I think the worst thing ever
Oh, I know.
is make up the excuse that, oh, well, I wouldn't have done that, but, you know, it was the alcohol. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Save the excuses, bro. You knew what you was doing before you started drinking, and if you know that you are
Exactly.
violent when you drink, then maybe you shouldn't
Don't drink.
And if you got
Yeah.
a problem with that, then get help. Especially if you care about the person. You clearly don't if you're going to continue
Text message.
to put your hands on a female.
You know, it goes back to what we've been
pmdg
talking about in our Bible studies. Freedom of choice.
Chrome
They have
body.
the choice to go ask for
Microsoft
help,
Flight
but he
Simulator
doesn't,
1.3
they don't
Microsoft.
do it.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so I'm going to let you listen, and I'm going to start talking to these guys.
80 ops 31.7
Okay.
37 flights to 700.
We'll see where this
37
goes.
flights.
I'm
Slash
not
lives.
making any promise
team
on
copy.
anything because this is all new, and
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes, and just go from there.
5.1.
Sounds
So,
good.
all right,
730.
I'll get the chat
All right.
up, and I'll talk to you there.
730.
See you, dude.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
All right,
Desktop list. Google Chrome 3 of 39.
hold on one second, guys.
Flight panel window. Restream chat 7 of 39. Restream chat row 1 column 1. Restream chat 4%. Type a message. Clickable disable button.
All right, chat is on.
Add-on programs. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
All right, guys. So there's a lot to cover here. We're not even. I don't even have my flight plan loaded yet because I want to just kind of show you what everything looks like here. I mean, there's a lot, and let me be very clear that I'm not perfect on this. I've not. I mean, today's the first day that I've been into it, and there is a lot. I'm not going to go over the whole thing for setting up TFM. That's pretty simple. I mean, if honestly, it's pretty straightforward. I think the big thing
3
is
p.m. One notification. Messages. 2 minutes ago. NDA. Text message.
remembering where everything is.
Sunday.
Panels, all that stuff. I do have first officer. I've already got the
Rook
key
Talon.
for the
What is this thing?
77F. It's a 777, Brooke. I do have a key for first officer, so we'll figure out the flight in a little bit, but I'm going to go over and just show you guys
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
some of the stuff here, okay? So
Microsoft Flight Sim.
first things first, I'm going to load
Desktop list. TFM.x shortcut 38 of 39.
Talking Flight Monitor.
Pay cut copy rename share delete pop-up share and run as administrator. Desktop list. TFM.x shortcut 38 of 39. Connection status window. Connection status.
Brandon
Red OBC connected.
Armstrong. I'm tuned in.
All right, so as you heard Sappy say, connected, that's what
Rook
happens
Talon.
as soon as you load
Has the new
TFM.
TFM been released? Then,
That's what I'm going over now, Rook. So, as you see when I opened it, it already told us that we were connected, that TFM is connected to the sim.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Microsoft Connection status row 1 column 2 connection
Okay, it
status window.
says-
Connection status edit red.
And I've got it set where it just shows my connection status, so you can see that, like,
FSUIP connection status edit red only C connected.
it says first tab is connection status C connected.
FSUIPC version edit red only S7.50.
FSUIPC version,
MSFS version edit red only MMSFS V11.0.
MSFS version,
Connection status edit red only C connected.
and then back to connection status. That's just what I see whenever I load it. And then you've got menus. I'm just going to show you these real quick.
TFM collapse alt plus T104.
So you got, when you hit Alt, you got TFM,
Expanded. Connection collapse C102.
uh,
Choose aircraft collapse C202. Connection collapse C102.
Connection,
Choose aircraft
choose
collapse C202.
aircraft.
Connection collapse C102. Choose aircraft collapse C202. Connection collapse C102.
Okay.
TFM collapse alt plus T104. Nav data collapse alt plus
your
N204.
right arrow, you got
TFM nav data collapse alt plus N204.
nav data,
Expanded. Gates G102.
and then you can look at gates,
Runways R202.
runways.
Gates G102.
So we'll look at that in a minute.
Runways R2. Gates G102. Airports database A1 of 7.
Airports database,
Keyboard K2 of 7.
keyboard,
Pop-up window P3 of 7.
pop out window. So if I've got my CDU opened, I'll be able to do a pop out window for that, so that it's in its own window.
Speech history S4 of 7.
Speech history,
Logs collapse L5 of 7. Settings collapse S6 of 7.
logs, and then
Data folder D7 of 7.
settings,
Airports database A1 of 7.
data folder,
Keyboard K2 of 7. Airports
airport.
database A1
Back
of
to
7.
the top. No more right arrow
License L1 of
again.
6.
You can look at your
My
license,
account M2 of 6.
my account,
Documentation D3 of 6.
documentation. You're going to need that.
Support S4 of 6.
Support, if you guys submit a ticket.
Website W5 of 6.
Website, obviously goes to the website.
About A6 of 6.
About,
License L1 of 6.
and then back to the top to license.
Connection collapse C1 of 2.
Then we're back over where it says connection. So if I want to look at all the different panels and stuff, I can.
Expanded. Connection status C3 of 3. Choose aircraft collapse C2. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C2 of 2.
Hold on,
Connection collapse C1 of
we
2.
don't want that.
Connection status edit red only C connected. TFM collapse alt plus nav data collapse alt plus expanded. Gates G1 of 2. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C2 of 2.
Okay, so
Connection status edit red only C
I believe
connected.
it was.
TFM collapse alt plus T1 of 4.
Let me see. TFM collapsed.
Nav data collapse alt TFM collapse alt expanded. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C connection collapse connection. License my account M2 of 6. Connection collapse. Choose aircraft connection collapse. Connection
Okay,
status
so
edit red
I
only
think
C.
it was-
TFM collapse alt plus T1
Like
of
I
4.
said, I'm new at
Connection
this,
status edit red
so
only C connected. TFM collapse alt. Airports database A1 of 7. Keyboard K2 of pop-up with speech history S4 of 7. Logs collapse settings collapse S6 of data folder D7 of 7. Airports database keyboard K2 pop-up window P3 of 7.
what was it?
Gates G1 of 2. Connection status edit red only C connected.
Hold on.
TFM collapse alt plus T1 of 4. Expanded. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C2 of 2.
Connection.
Expanded. 770. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C2 of 2. Expanded. 707. Gates G1 of 2.
Rook Talon.
Connection
Wow.
status.
Let me at least ask you this. Is it out of beta and ready for people to buy?
It's not in beta no more. That's why it's available. You can go and sign up. You go to Talking Flight Monitor and you can sign up. You can get your key. It is monthly, or you can pay for the whole year. That's up to you. But that's pretty self-explanatory. You just have to go look at it and
Connected.
do all that stuff.
Connected.
So
TFM collapse alt plus T1 of 4.
Sunfire 11. Choose aircraft.
Expanded. Connection collapse C1 of 2. Choose aircraft collapse C2 of expanded. 777. pmdg P1 of 1.
oh yeah, that's right. You go here.
Connection status edit red only C connected.
I already did aircraft.
Expanded. Connection collapse. Control keys collapse C2 of 3. Choose aircraft collapse C3 of 3. Expanded. 777. pmdg P1 of 1. PFD1 of 11.
There. Oh, you got a right arrow from. Okay, I got it. Okay, so anyway, so now under this you
Com
got
radio CPFD1 of 11.
PFD,
Com radio C2 of 11.
com
Nav radio
radio,
Z3 of 11.
nav radio,
TCOS T4 of 11.
DCAS,
Transponder T5 of 11. North D6 of 11.
transponder, doors,
Fuel of 7 of 11.
fuel,
MCPM 8 of 11.
uh,
Fuel MCPM 8 of 11.
MCP,
Turnaround T9 of 11.
turnaround,
Panels P10 of 11.
panels. That's all your panels.
FMC collapse F11 of 11.
And then FMC. So
PFD1 of 11. FMC panels P10 of 11.
let's just look at panels. So I'll hit enter on panels.
Cockpit panels preview. Overhead maintenance collapse 1 of 5 level 1.
And this is where You've got your overhead for maintenance.
Overhead maintenance collapse 1 of 5 level 1.
Let's just open that up.
Expanded. Level 2 backup window heat 1 of 7.
Backup window heat.
Standby power 2 of 7 level 2.
Standby power.
Hydraulic power valves 3 of 6. Standby power 2 of 7
Let's
level
go
2.
here.
Standby power combo box auto collapse test. Search for panels edit F2 blank.
Okay, so standby power is on auto. You can see where that's at.
Hydraulic power valves 3 of 7 level 2.
Hydraulic power.
Power test 4 of 7 level 2. EEC power test 5 of 7 level 2. Left power test toggle button nut cockpit panels electrical 6 of 7 level 2. Towing power inactive toggle button nut press W.
Towing power. By the way, I learned something about that. If you go to do pushback, that has to be on, by the way.
Cockpit panels preview. Cargo temperature 7 of 7 level 2.
And yeah, I'm trying to remember where it was to do the battery, B and then 1 and 2.
Level 1 overhead collapse. Level 2 cargo temperature 7 of electrical 6 of 7 level 2.
Oh, that wasn't under the
Hydraulic power valve standby level 1 overhead maintenance expanded 1 of 5.
That was
overhead collapse 2 of 5
overhead
expanded.
here.
Level 2 adhere 1 of 19. Flight controls 2 of 19 level 2. Electrical 3 of 19 level 2. Electrical panel tab control. General tab selected control plus 1 1 of 5. Battery connected toggle button not press D.
Battery, so you hit B.
Pressed battery on. Left generator off. Right generator off.
And then 1. Wait, I thought.
Cabin utility on toggle button not press U. Iphone toggle button not press I.
Wasn't it B and then 1 and 2? I thought.
Cabin battery connected toggle button press D.
The battery's connected.
Cabin utility on toggle button iPhone toggle button not press I. Search for panels edit F2 blank. Clear search results but cockpit panels preview. Electrical 3 of 19 level 2.
What was it? It was battery.
Electrical panel tab control. General tab selected control plus 1. Ground power tab selected control plus
Oh, here
2
we
of 5.
go.
Primary GPU available toggle button not press 1. Primary ground power on. Primary ground power unavailable.
That's
Press.
what it
Primary
was.
GPU unavailable. Cabin
And then
secondary ground power on. Secondary ground power
secondary. So we
unavailable.
got
Left air bleed off.
primary
Right air bleed
and
off.
secondary. Okay.
Ground power tab select cockpit panels preview. Electrical 3 of 19 level
Like
2.
I said, I'm still.
Sunfire 11.
I'm still learning all this.
Turnaround panel.
No, I mean just to turn on my power like I did earlier.
Cockpit panels preview. Electrical 3 of 19 level 2.
I just wanted to turn on the power to show them.
Electrical
Anyways.
panels, cockpit panels preview. Electrical 3 of 19 level 2.
Okay, so.
Electrical panel tab control. Ground power tab selected control plus 2
Yeah,
of
and
5.
there is the turnaround panel.
GOCU54. Hey John. I'm ready to see TFM in action.
Well, I can tell you all this right now. I just got this. So, mainly I wanted to come on and look at this stuff with you guys, show it to you. But I am nowhere near ready to do all this on my own. I'm going to be using First Officer to actually do all the flows and all that. But I wanted to go through it first and show you guys just some of this stuff.
Primary GPU unavailable toggle button press 1.
But I will be letting First Officer do my flows and all that until I get the hang of everything, because there is a lot.
Secondary GPU unavailable toggle button press 2. Test GPU button T.
You can test your GPU. Like I said,
Primary
there's
GPU,
primary,
secondary G,
secondary.
Test G, search for panels edit F2. Clear search results. Cockpit panels preview. Electrical 3 of 19 level 2.
The other thing that I want to show you guys, if you get lost in a panel, you're looking for something. Andy showed me this earlier. You hit
Search for
F2,
panels edit F2 blank.
and you could type in whatever you're looking for.
Rook
Like,
Talon.
for example.
Yes, but I have to admit it's pretty neat how easy it is to navigate.
Yeah, well, wait till it's right in front of you. You'll see.
Land Y X O O O X Y land land.
You'll then see it's not as easy as what you think. Yeah, the layout is easy and it's really simple as far as that, but this ain't just jump in and go. I can tell you that. So back to search, like I was saying, F2. That
Left
brings
master
up
warning
the
on.
search.
Right master warning off. Left master warning off. Right master warning off. Left master warning on. Left master warning off. Right master warning off. Right master warning on. Left master warning.
That's just doing a test. Pretty sure that's what that is.
Electric search for panels edit
Okay,
F2.
so I typed in OXY.
Cockpit panels preview. Level 1 overhead greater oxygen 1 to 1.
Now watch this.
Oxygen tab control. Passenger tab selected control plus 1 1 to 5.
You got passenger,
Passenger off toggle button not press P. Passenger tab selected. Captain tab selected control plus 2 2 of 5.
captain. Now listen carefully.
Left master warning off. Right master warning off. Oxygen button O. Mask needle edit red only M0. Test button T.
We'll hit test.
Captain O2 needle 56. Captain O2 needle 100. Captain O2 needle 56. Captain O2 needle 0.
And there it was. You heard it reading the numbers. It shows you the actual numbers. And then you can look at the oxygen on.
Mask needle edit red. Oxygen. Captain tab selected control plus 2 of 5.
You've got captain,
Passenger tab selected control.
passenger,
Captain. Officer tab selected
first
control plus 3 of 5.
officer,
Left observer tab selected control plus 4 of 5.
left observer,
Right observer tab selected
right
control plus 5.
observer,
Passenger tab selected
and then passenger, which you're not going to have nothing on passenger. You won't even mess with that. The other thing to know, though, is when you do the oxygen test, once you do it the first time, if you go back and do it again for whatever reason, you're not going to hear the
Talent.
oxygen, but it still works.
Truly amazing.
Okay? And that's an airplane thing, not a TFM thing on why it only plays the oxygen sound once. If for whatever reason you did it twice, you're not going to hear it. So, but it's still,
Right observer tab selected control plus 5 of 5.
there's so much here, guys.
Left
It's,
observer first office.
it's,
Captain tab selected control plus 2 Passenger tab selected
It's
control
not
plus 1
even
of
funny.
5. Captain tab selected passenger tab cockpit panels preview overhead greater oxygen 1 to 1 level 1.
and then you can clear the search by hitting F4,
Overhead maintenance collapse 1 to 5 level 1.
and then it takes you back to the main tree view of,
Overhead collapse
you
2
know,
of 5 level 1. Forward collapse 3 of 5. Overhead maintenance.
so
Overhead maintenance collapse
you
1 of
got
5 level
overhead
1.
maintenance,
Overhead collapse 2 of 5 level 1.
then you got the overhead, which is, check this out,
Expanded. Level 2 of 1 of 19.
there are 19 different things for the overhead.
Flight control 1 of 19 level 2.
The ADIRU, Adiru, however you pronounce it,
Flight controls 2 of 19 level
flight
2.
controls,
Electrical 3 of 19
electrical,
level 2. Wipers 4 of 19 level 2.
wipers, and the wipers do work,
Left
by
wiper
the
combo
way.
box off collapsed. Intermittent. Left wiper intermittent. Low. Left wiper low. High. Left wiper high.
See?
Low. Intermittent
Root
off. Left
talent.
wiper off. Cockpit
Is
panel
this
preview.
much
Wiper
the
4 of
same for the
19 level 2.
pmdg 737 and 747 series?
No. The 737's not even been released yet. But it's gonna be different. It's gonna look a little different than what this does, because it's you know, different airplane. But
Emergency lights 5 of 19 level 2.
you got emergency lights,
Service interphone 6 of 19 level 2.
service interphone,
Oxygen 7 of 19 level 2.
oxygen,
Window heat 8 of 19 level 2.
window heat,
Hydraulics 9 of 19 level 2.
hydraulics,
Passenger signs 10 of 19 level 2.
passenger signs.
Flight deck lights 11 of 19 level. Passenger signs 10 of 19 level
And
2.
just to show you,
No smoking sign combo box on collapse 10.
no smoking sign right now is on. You can use your arrow to turn it to a different setting.
Auto. No smoking sign auto.
Auto,
Off. No smoking sign off.
off,
Auto. No smoking sign auto. On. No smoking sign on.
or back to on. It goes to on by default, I believe.
Seatbelt sign combo box off collapse test.
Seatbelt signs on.
No seatbelt sign combo box off collapse test.
It's off right now.
Auto. Seatbelt sign auto.
Again, there's
On. Seatbelt sign on.
auto on,
Auto. Off. Seatbelt.
off.
Search for panels at F2 blank. No clear search results button. Cockpit panels preview. Passenger signs 10 of 19 level. Flight deck lights 11 of 19 level 2.
Flight deck lights.
Master switches grouping. Master toggle button pressed.
Master toggle button pressed, which is telling me that
Cockpit master switches grouping. Master toggle button pressed.
lights are already on.
Storm toggle button not pressed.
Storm toggle button not pressed. You could turn it on if you wanted.
Storm light on pressed.
Storm light is on.
Annunciator test combo box bright collapsed.
Um,
Storm annunciator test combo box bright collapsed.
Annunciator test says bright. I don't know.
Dim annunciator test dim. Bright annunciator test
Okay,
bright.
you can switch it from bright to dim.
Brightness knobs grouping. Dome light at 0.
Dome light says 0, I believe. Andy, is these in percentages? The numbers, you can change them manually. I seen that. Is that a percentage or like just up to 100%
Rook Talon.
on the
So,
brightness?
currently, the only plane that works is the 777.
With the payware TFM, yes.
Master brightness at 65. Overhead brightness at 50.
So you got all these
Glare
different
shield brightness at
brightnesses. Glare shield,
Overhead brightness glare shield
Overhead.
floodlight at 0.
floodlight,
Circuit breaker at 50.
circuit
Search for
breaker.
panels at F2. Clear search results. Cockpit panels preview. Flight deck lights 11. Exterior lights 12 of
Then you
19
got
level 2.
exterior lights.
Landing lights grouping. All button.
Landing lights all.
Left toggle button not pressed.
Left
Right
toggle,
button not
right
nose button
toggle,
not pressed. Runway
nose,
turn off lights grouping. All button.
runway turn off
Landing
lights,
runway turn off lights grouping. All button.
all.
Left toggle button not pressed.
Then you got
Right toggle
left,
button not pressed. Other
right.
lights grouping. Beacon toggle button not pressed.
You got the beacon lights.
Runway other lights grouping. Beacon toggle button not pressed. Beacon light on pressed.
You can turn that on.
Navigation toggle button pressed. Navigation light off not pressed.
Oh,
Navigation
yeah,
light
it's
on
already
pressed.
on.
Logo toggle button not pressed.
Logo, you
Logo
can turn
lights
that on.
pressed. Wind toggle button not pressed.
Your wing lights,
Wing
you
lights
can
on,
turn
pressed.
them
Active
on.
toggle button
You
not
can turn
pressed.
them all on, actually.
Strobe toggle button not pressed. Strobe light on. Search for panels at F2 blank. Clear search result. Cockpit panels preview. Exterior lights. Engines 13 of 19 level 2.
Then you got engines.
Sunfire 11. He goes from 0 to 100.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, Andy, yeah.
Left EEC normal toggle button not pressed.
Rook Talon.
Right EEC normal toggle button not
Damn.
pressed.
Well, I guess that was their priority. Too bad I don't have that plane, elsewise IDVE considered buying the new TFM in the future.
Well, that was the only airplane being worked on so far, which when they're doing that stuff, if you go to the website, you can keep up with what's going on in posts and stuff that Andy and them put. Like, it's always been the 777 with the payware first. Like, that's always been what's, that everybody's already knew that the 777 was the only one. Well, besides you, apparently.
Left EEC normal, right EEC normal, auto start on toggle button pressed.
Auto start is on.
Left starter normal toggle button not pressed. Left fuel cutoff toggle button.
So
right
this
starter normal
is-
toggle. Right
this
fuel
is
cutoff
under
toggle. Search
engine.
for panels at F2 blank. Clear search result. Cockpit panels preview. Engines 13. Anti-ice 14 of 19 level 2.
Anti-ice.
Wing anti-ice combo box auto collapse W.
See, there's auto for that. That makes it
Left engine
nice.
anti-ice combo box auto collapse L. Right engine anti-ice combo box auto search for panels at F2 blank.
So there's an
Clear
auto
search result.
setting
Cockpit
for
panels preview.
anti-ice.
Anti-ice 14 of 19 level 2.
That makes it real
Air
nice.
conditioning 15 of 19 level 2.
Air conditioning,
Reset button. Cockpit. Lead air 16 of 19 level 2.
bleed air,
Fuel 17 of 19 level 2.
fuel,
Pressurization 18 of 19 level 2.
pressurization,
Abu/cargo fire 19 of 19 level 2. Pressure. Abu/cargo fire 19 of 19 level 2.
APU, cargo/fire,
Abu and cargo fire tab control. Cargo tab selected 1 of 2.
which actually
Root
Normal
Talon.
toggle button not pressed F.
there
Your stove
is.
lights are still on BTW.
I know it's all on. It's fine.
Cargo tab forward off. Normal toggle button not pressed F off. Normal toggle main deck off. Normal toggle autos. Normal toggle button not pressed D. Cargo pressurized toggle button not pressed C.
You got,
Test button T.
and you can test your fire.
App cargo system warning. Forward cargo fire system warning. Abu fire handle unlocked. Abu fire handle illuminated. Main deck cargo fire system warning. Left master warning on. Right master warning on. Left engine fire handle illuminated. Right engine fire handle illuminated. Forward cargo fire system normal. App cargo system normal. Abu fire handle normal. Abu fire handle locked. Main deck cargo fire system normal. Right engine
See,
fire
now I
handle normal.
just
Left
read
engine
all
fire
that
handle normal.
about
Right master
being
warning off.
normal.
Left master warning off.
That's-
Search for panels at F2.
that's
Clear search
awesome.
results button F for cockpit panels preview. Abu slash
Yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. Like I said, I'm just showing it off for now.
level 1 forward collapse 3 of 5. Level 2 Abu/cargo fire 19 of 19.
But that's 19 different ones just for
Level 1 overhead expanded 2 of 5.
the
Collapse.
overhead.
Forward collapse 3 of 5 level 1.
Then you got the forward.
Expanded. Level 2 center 1 of 6.
You got center,
Center tab control. Brakes tab selected 1 of 3.
brakes,
Landing gear tab selected 2 of 3.
landing gear,
GPWS tab selected 3 of 3.
GPW. This is insane,
Landing
dude.
gear tab. Brakes tab selected 1 of 3. Landing gear tab selected 2 of 3. Gear down toggle button press G. Gear lock normal toggle button not press L. Alternate gear up toggle button not press A.
You got the alternate
Search for
gear.
panels at F2.
I mean,
Clear search results button
this
F. Cockpit
is
panels preview. Center 1 of 6 level 2. Center tab control. Landing gear tab selected 2 of 3.
absolutely
Brakes tab selected
amazing
1 of 3.
with everything that is here. Like, absolutely amazing.
Cockpit panels preview. Center 1 of 6 level 2. ISFD standby 2 of 6 level 2.
Then you got
Center ISFD standby 2 of 6 level 2.
ISFD.
Barrel STD button D.
barrel,
Barrel decrease button D.
decrease,
Barrel increase button I. Approach mode button
increase,
A.
approach mode,
HP and button H. Approach HP and button H.
HP. I don't know what that
Approach
button
HP
is.
and button H.
HPN button,
Attitude reset button S.
attitude reset,
Search for panels at F. Clear cockpit panels. Barrel STD button D. Cockpit panels. Instrument sources 3 of 6 level 2. ISFD standby 2. Instrument sources 3 of 6 level 2.
instrument sources.
Left nav toggle button not pressed.
You got left nav,
Left display control normal toggle button not pressed.
left display,
Left air data normal toggle button not pressed. Left air data normal toggle button not pressed.
left air data
Right
normal,
nav toggle button not pressed.
right nav,
Right display control normal toggle button not pressed.
right display normal.
Right air data normal toggle button not pressed.
Basically, what you got on the left, you got on the right.
FMC combo box auto collapse F.
Then you got FMC. It's on auto.
Search for panels at F2. Clear search results. Cockpit panels preview. Instrument sources. Display selectors 4 of 6 level 2.
Display selectors.
Left inboard display combo box MFD collapsed L. Right inboard display combo box MFD collapsed L. Left inboard display combo box MFD collapsed L.
MFD collapse. Some of this stuff I don't. Like I said, I definitely didn't come on stream to be like I know everything, because I don't.
Right inboard display combo box
But
MFD
we're looking
collapsed
at it together just to show you guys
L. Search for panels at F2 blank.
all this
Clear search
stuff.
results button.
It,
Cockpit panels preview. Display selectors 4 of 6 level.
okay, so
Heading reference 5 of 6 level 2.
heading reference.
Heading reference normal toggle button press H.
There's normal.
Search for panels at F2 blank.
Okay,
Heading reference.
that's the
Cockpit
only
panel.
thing under heading
Standby
reference.
other 6 of 6 level 2. Heading reference 5 of 6 standby other 6 of 6 level 2.
You got standby.
Increase OSI button.
Decrease something. What is that?
ASI. S-A-S-I. Right. I.
Decrease ASI.
Increase ASI button.
Increase ASI.
Reset ASI button.
Reset ASI.
Decrease altimeter button. Reset decrease altimeter button.
Decrease altimeter.
Increase altimeter button.
Increase altimeter.
Reset altimeter button.
Reset altimeter.
Search for panels, edit F2 blank. Clear search results button. F cockpit panels preview. Standby. Other. Level 1 glare shield collapsed 4 of 5. Level 2 standby. Level 1 forward expanded 3 of 5.
Let's close it forward.
Glare shield collapsed 4 of 5. Level 1.
Now you got glare shield.
Expanded. Search for panels, edit F2. Cockpit. Level 2 master warnings 1 of 1.
And then under glare shield master
Left warning
warnings.
off. Caution off button L.
Left warning off.
Right warning off. Caution off
Right
button R.
warning off.
Search for panels, edit F2 blank. Right left warning cockpit panels preview. Master warning. Level 1 pedestal collapsed 5 of 5.
Pedestal
Expanded.
collapse.
Search for panels, edit F2 blank. Cockpit panels preview. Pedestal expand. Level 2 engine fire 1 of 2.
Engine fire.
Engine fire tab control. Left tab selected 1 of 2.
You got left
Right tab selected 2 of 2.
and right.
Left tab selected. Left handle normal not illuminated toggle button press H.
Then you got the left handle normal.
Lock toggle button not press L.
Locked, not pressed.
Turn left button U.
Turn left.
Turn right button I.
Turn right. That's what turns that handle.
Search for panels, edit F2 blank. Clear search results. Cockpit panels preview. Engine fire 1 of 2 level 2.
Now, if I say something wrong, Andy, feel free to correct me, because like I said, I don't know everything.
Evac 2 of 2 level 2.
Evac? Is that what that says?
Bottom evac top evac V E V A C right C.
Yeah, evac.
Command normal toggle button press C.
And then it says command normal.
Horn toggle button not press O. Test toggle button. Horn toggle button not press O.
Horn.
Test toggle button not press E.
Test.
Rest evac light on evac test on.
I guess that just tests it. I don't hear
Horn
no
toggle button
horn.
not press O. Pressed evac horn pulled not pressed. Test toggle button. Horn toggle button not press O. Test toggle button press E. Search for panels, edit F2 blank. Test toggle button press E.
Maybe the horn don't work, because I don't hear no horn.
Horn toggle button not press O. Command illuminated toggle button press C. Evac test off. Evac light off. Command normal.
But it did the test for the evac test.
Cockpit panels preview. Evac 2. Engine fire 1 of 2 level 2.
Okay.
Clear search results button. Cockpit panels level 1 pedestal expanded collapsed. Clear search results button. Cockpit panels preview. Pedestal collapsed 5 of 5 level 1.
And then that's the 5 different
Level 2 level 1 pedestal collapsed. Level 2 master warnings 1 of 1. Level 1 glare shield expanded 4 of collapsed. Pedestal collapsed 5 of 5.
pedestal, glare shield, forward,
Overhead collapsed 2 of 5 level 1.
overhead.
Overhead maintenance collapsed 1 of 5
and
level 1.
then, of course, overhead maintenance.
Clear search results button F4. Cockpit panels preview. Overhead maintenance collapsed 1 of 5 level 1.
And then you can close this by control
GLCU
F4.
View closed. Talking flight monitor window.
Airplanes have horns?
Well, it's not the kind of horn in the car. It's still called a horn, though, silly guy.
TFM expanded. Control keys collapsed. C. Choose aircraft collapsed. C3 of 3 expanded. 777. PFD 1 of 11.
Okay, so and then there's other stuff here. Let's go back to that first menu we was at.
Com radio C2 of 11. PFD 1 of 11.
PFD.
Com radio C. Nav radio Z3 of T. Cos T4 of
Let's go
transponder
down
T5 of
to
11.
the
North D6 of fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of turnaround T9 of 11. Panels P10 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11.
Let's go to the FMC.
Route
I'll hit
tower.
enter on that.
That horn is for evacuation.
Yeah, exactly.
Panels FMC PFD 1 of 11. FMC PFD 1 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11.
Okay, FMC.
Expanded. Left L1 of 3.
And then under FMC you have left,
Right R2 of 3.
right,
Center C3 of 3.
and center.
Right R2 of 3.
So I guess by default you'd be using the left one,
Left L1 of 3.
but you can look at any of them that you choose
Right R2 left
to.
L1 of 3.
So we'll do left. I'll hit enter on that.
FMC display edit red only alt plus home menu.
Okay, so
Edit ref button alt plus I. FMC display edit red only alt plus home menu.
and this is where you have your stuff that, well, you'll know what the stuff is by name, but
Edit ref button alt plus I.
init ref,
RTE button alt plus T.
root,
VNAV button alt plus V.
VNAV,
Select button alt plus T.
and these all have commands too, by the way.
VNAV RT edit ref button alt plus I.
So,
FMC display edit red only alt plus home
Alt
menu.
I is init ref,
Edit ref button alt plus I. RTE button alt
Alt
plus T.
T,
Edit ref button RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus
for
V.
root,
RT VNAV button alt plus V.
Alt V for VNAV,
RT VNAV button alt plus V. Legs button alt plus G.
legs, Alt plus G,
VNAV legs button alt plus G. Dev Arkansas button alt plus A. Hold button alt plus H. Dev Arkansas button alt plus A.
what is that?
Arkansas. Dev. E dash. A R right R.
Route Talon.
Oh,
I imagine it works much the same if you've done it before.
departure slash
Familiar
arrival.
stuff.
Wait, yeah, it does, but it's all laid out a little different than what we're used to from the original TFM. This is totally different. All these commands are the same,
Hold button Alt plus H.
but like hold Alt H,
Lock button Alt plus P.
progress,
Fix button Alt plus F.
fixed,
Menu button Alt plus U.
menu Alt plus U. I think that takes you back to the main menu, I believe.
Execute button Alt plus E.
I'll tell you a button we didn't have on the other one was a scratch pad delete key. We do now with Alt X, I believe.
Previous page button Alt plus Up. Scratch pad edit Alt plus S blank.
Alt S for scratch pad.
Line select mode edit red only Alt plus LA.
Line select mode.
Next page button Alt plus down. Line select mode edit red only Alt plus LA. Next page button Alt plus down arrow.
Next
Clear
page.
scratch button Alt plus C.
Clear scratch pad.
Refresh button Alt plus R.
Refresh Alt R.
FMC com button Alt plus M.
Um,
Refresh FMC com button Alt plus M.
FMC com Alt plus M.
Radios button Alt plus O.
Radios Alt O.
ATN button Alt plus N.
ATN Alt plus N. I think that might be alternates, maybe.
Delete button Alt plus X.
Delete Alt plus X. So yeah, I was right. It's Alt X.
FMC display edit red only Alt plus home menu. FSCTL menu. FSCTL 1. Less FMCX off slash on greater. Land 2. DSPCTL. Edit ref button Alt plus I.
Okay, so if you do Alt Home,
FMC display edit red only Alt plus home DSPCTL.
it takes you to the top.
2. Land 1. FS menu. Menu. FS 1. Less FMCX off slash on greater. Land 2. DS3. Less SATX. Land 4. Land 5. pmdg setup greater. Land 6. FS actions greater.
And then you got your regular menu here, your FS actions.
Land 6. FS actions greater.
I believe mine's
Land
set on.
6. FS actions greater.
Let me see. I think I got mine set on the.
FS actions. FS actions.
And it's instant. I love that.
Round 1. Less fuel connections greater.
Fuel connections,
Service 2. Less service. 2. Less payload vehicles greater.
payload slash vehicles,
Round 3. Less doors operations greater.
doors and operations,
Round 4. Less pushback maintenance greater.
pushback and
Auto.
maintenance,
5. Less cabin lights cruise greater.
cabin lights and cruise.
Return to 6. Less menu.
And then again, you can do Alt
Return 6. Less menu.
left off 6 to go back a menu, or you can do Alt M, and I think that goes to the home.
FS actions.
Oh no, it didn't. So I was wrong there.
Round 1. Less fuel. Land 6. Less menu.
Rook Talon.
But
Menu.
we can go back.
I love that it tells you where to went.
FS 1. Less FMCX off slash on greater.
Yeah, I do too, because for
Land
example,
DS3. Less SATX off slash on land 4. Land 3. Land 4. Land 5. pmdg setup greater.
if I went to
6. FS actions greater. Land 5. pmdg setup greater. Land 5. pmdg
right
setup greater.
south 5, for example,
pmdg setup. pmdg setup.
we know we're under setup because it says it right at the top. That is beautiful.
Panel 1. Less aircraft state save greater.
And having it read and doing what it's doing now, even using first officer to make it easier, even letting first officer do the flows for us. So, and I got to get myself back in routine with that too. I've not done it for. It's the same, but it's different, if that makes sense. There's a lot. A whole lot. And a quick way, if you're looking at, if you get it and you're just looking at it and you're like, well, I just want to shut the power back off to cold and dark. Well, you can do that by going
Panel 2.
down
Less options state
to
low greater.
Rook Talon. Definitely a neat idea. I was planning on buying the
Right off
777
to-
at some point.
Low
Guess
panel
I
state, low
have some
panel state, land 1.
motivation.
Less approach.
and then
Land 6. Less return. Land 6. Less return. 5. Less cold dark.
to go to
Land 5. Less cold dark. Land 4. Less climb. Land 5. Less land.
the next page, you do up and down, and it goes
Land.
Alt,
Load panel
Yeah.
state 2 slash. Load panel state 2 slash 3.
Alt down arrow or Alt up arrow goes back and forth on the
Load
pages.
panel land 1. Less cold dark 2.
So see right here's page 2. If I do Alt up arrow,
Load panel state 1 slash 3. Load panel state 1 slash 3.
that goes back to the previous page. So Alt
Load panel,
down,
load panel land 1. Less cold dark 2.
left off
Execute
1.
number 1 available.
I think execute was Alt E.
Nav 2, 110.60. Cabin utility on. Battery off. Left generator on. iPhone. Right generator on. Right backup generator on. Left backup generator on. Right IDG drive connected. Left IDG drive connected. MCP heading 296. Next.
So see, and that put it back at code and dark. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to build the flight plan, and then I'm going to try to get the flight set up, and we're going to do a flight. We're not doing an oceanic, so nobody get your hopes up yet. I'm not going that far. Going to do like a. I mean, we could go to. Let's go to EGLL from where we're at. We're at Indianapolis. Now, I did put Miami on the Microsoft page where I loaded the takeoff runway and arrival, but that ain't going to matter. I don't got to necessarily go to the arrival runway that I put in Microsoft. So, let's go build a flight plan real quick. And then we're going to try this. Oh, I wanted to show you something too.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0080 pmdg 77F introduction YouTube Google Chrome column 3 of 6. Ops 31.0.3 profile untitled scenes untitled column for Ops 31.0.
Where is it?
Flight panel window restream chat restream add-on programs Ops 31. Not powered row 1 column 2 Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Ops not 80 pmdg 77F 80 pm button shift plus N next shift button M on mute keyboard short dialogue. Unmute M.
Rogue Talon.
Guide toggle but dialogue.
Should be fun. This'll be my first time watching the 777 great passenger plane, but also a great freighter.
Yeah.
80 pmdg 77F introduction.
And you guys were able to hear, you heard everything, right? Like you heard my screen reader, which now I know how to get rid of that if I need to. But on this stream, I'm going to leave the screen reader on so you guys can kind of hear what's going on. Actually, all I got to do is turn off my desktop mic, and I think that's it. Yeah. Turn off my desktop mic, and then that solves it. So.
Brandon Armstrong. Yes, we heard every bit of it.
Okay. So,
80 pmdg.
let's go build.
Toolbar address. Select. Simbrief.com selected. Simbrief.com.
The flight plan that I need. Now, before I get started, I'm going to talk about a couple things with TFM. Number one, I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to. First off, you got to have .NET 9 or higher. There is a link on the Talking Flight Monitor page under documentation. There's a link that you can click on that'll take you there, or you can just Google it. Okay? You've got to have that. So, don't even ponder, well, I've got 8. Do I really need 9? Yes, you do. The second thing is when you go sign up, you get your key and all that, and you're ready to download TFM, it's going to be under application. I messed up. For 20 minutes when I first did it, I was looking for TFM, and I kept going to downloads, and I'm like, where is it? But it's under applications. Okay? And you can download the latest one. And I think I even seen a link where you can download one older, but you really don't need to do that. Don't download the older one because you might run into some problems. Just get the latest one and you'll be good. Alright? So,
banner lamp, current link, Facebook, private update, sim, logout, navig, about link, register link, dispatch link.
we'll
Sim
go to
brief
dispatch.
Figure heading level 1, no next edit field. Main landmark, figure latest flight plan, figure view flight plan, edit flight link, figure create new, view saved flights, create new flight link.
Create new flight.
Out of figure. Main landmark. Figure ZZZ. Main landmark.
We'll just use
Figure 0000
GSI.
edit land.
009 Delta
Figure
Whiskey.
ZZZ edit land.
KIND.
Figure ZZZ edit land.
EGLL.
Figure combo box none collapsed. Expand but 225 Antonov 2 B190 B B739 BBJ3 B742 B744 B74 F B748 B48 F B750 B75 B76 F B764 B772 B77 F B777 F not selected 67 to 100 combo box B77 F
There we go.
B777 F collapsed.
77F because I've got the freighter.
Figure combo box default collapsed. PMDG MSFS standard conflict credit meter
You've got standard
default.
or default.
PMDG.
I'm just gonna go standard, I guess.
Expanded list PMDG combo box PMDG MSFS standard conflict credit meter collapsed. Figure auto edit selected EGCC. Combo box EGCC collapsed. Figure edit selected April 14. Banner checkbox not checked. Johnny Estop. Air Act 2503.
I'm hoping first officer doesn't act stupid when I'm ready for it to help me out.
Figure heading level main landmark flight info heading level 1. Link new flight. Clickable briefing clickable calculate and clickable generate flight.
All right, let's generate
Generate
flight.
flight plan dialog. Generate flight. Banner landmark checkbox not.
Okay. We've got that, so let's write down our flight info that I need.
Main landmark figure flight figure cruise profile heading level 2 figure route distance heading level 2 figure average wind heading figure route figure cruise profile figure initial altitude heading level 2
Here we go.
initial altitude 33,000 copy to
Altitude 33,000.
document notepad text desktop notepad key for first
Whoa. You jackwagon.
initial altitude 33,000 feet K9DR land K9D initial altitude initial altitude land K9DR K9DR notepad dialog don't save sim brief flight briefing Google run dialog desktop notepad land
There we go.
initial altitude 30 land sim brief
Rook
sim
Talon.
figure cruise
I have to admit, there's quite a bit to be impressed about, although I hope that one day, it'll work with the 737 aircraft as those are the ones I have.
It's going to. I believe that's going to be the next one. Now I'm not going to say for sure. I don't want to speak for Andy, or his team, but I believe the 737's the next one being worked on. I believe. It's not being worked on yet, but I believe that is the next one. But I believe they're kind of taking a little bit of a break to kind of, let people fly this, make sure how things go, all that stuff. But
star initial altitude 33 spelling error cruise profile site land.
all right.
Sim brief figure route distance 3006 copied star spelling error land route distance 3600 to
Route
nm
distance
land.
3,000
route distance 3600 to nm
602.
sim brief
It's nice to know that I don't have to worry about not having enough fuel to make it that far.
figure average wind 269 slash copy
Average
star route
wind
distance land
is
average wind 269 slash 55
269.55.
Figure wind component heading level 2 figure ISA deviation figure release number heading left figure air site figure OFT late figure units heading figure navlog heading figure edits heading levels load sheet all weights and figure en route burn heading figure passenger count heading left figure empty weight heading figure estimated ZFW heading estimated Z copy to star average wind land spelling error estimated ZFW 506,100 land
Estimated ZFW.
sim brief flight briefing
And then
out of figure heading level 2 block fuel heading level out of figure pounds 145,000 copy to
okay, there's my
spelling error
fuel.
land fuel 145,344 land
And like I said, when I go to set this up, bear with me, guys, because it's been a minute. I hope. The thing I ain't got to worry about is if first officer gets back in before I'm done doing something.
Tim Appleby.
It's not going to affect
Wow,
anything.
sounds like you're using NVDA.
That's exactly what I'm
Rook
using,
Talon.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
route
It's hard work to do all this and it makes sense certainly.
route land
But that's my hope anyway, as it'll allow me to fly what I've got when it's done.
All right, so there's our route.
145,344 route.
Oh,
104. 1.
whoops.
100 Farragut route. Land.
And yes, I'm using NVDA. I don't see the purpose of using JAWS. It does just as good, so.
Sim brief flight brief. Sim brief.
All right.
Figure cargo heading. Figure payload. Figure max Z. Figure max tow heading. Figure max LW route hide details heading level 1.
All right.
Heading level 1
routes.
link hide detail. Figure kind slash 20. Kind slash nadu net copy selected. Copy and select. Copy. Star route. Land. Kind slash land.
Once I get things going here, I'm going to turn off. I'm not going to leave NVDA on the whole time, by the way, just so you guys know. Just doing that so you can kind of follow along on what I'm doing for at least the moment. And I only showed you guys just a small glimpse of everything. The thing I did want to show you, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Once you install TFM, you also need to set up your database, which is easy to do. I don't even got to show you. You go under tools and you down arrow and you'll see where.
Rook Talon. So do you still need Navigraph then, or is it pulling the data from there?
No, you have to have. That's the other thing. Thanks for bringing that up. You have to have Navigraph. You have to have an active subscription of Navigraph. That's a must. No way around that. So you gotta have that subscription, which really isn't bad. I mean, it's what, $9 a month or something like that. So
Star initial kind slash land. Kind root. Kind land.
Okay, so that's done.
Sim brief flight brief sim brief.
We can close sim brief. I don't need anything else from here.
Copy kind slash 23R. Out of figure heading level 1 dispatch remarks.
That's just dispatch remarks.
ATC flight plan show details heading level 1.
Now, if I was doing all this on my own, there's other information that I'd want to look at, but we don't need to do that because I'm not doing all the flows and stuff myself.
Sim brief flight brief.
So we'll close that.
Desktop. Say intention sim markets sim brief downloader 18. Pay
Go to sim brief downloader.
Copy nick share delete pop-up share as run as admin. Desktop list sim brief downloader. Sim brief downloader. Latest flight plan.
And then
Latest
we
flight
will
plan. GSI 009DWB77F kind slash EGLL generated for land. Clickable graphic. Clickable export selected formats.
export.
Sim brief downloader. Heading level 1 sim brief downloader. Clickable. 4 files could not be clickable close. Sim brief downloader. Sim brief downloader.
It said 4 files could not be saved, but that's because there's other airplanes that I don't have installed at the moment. If I got everything installed that I fly, there's 12 different files that 12 or 14, I think it's 12, where the flight plans go and the weather data goes.
Document export
So,
selected for land. Clickable export land.
pretty crazy.
Sim brief download.
Alright, we'll close sim brief downloader.
Star initial altitude 33.
All right.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I'm
Ops
going
31.0.3
to,
pops.
there's going to be a lot of tabbing around and stuff,
Music slash O checkbox not checked.
so I'm going to
Properties for mixed volume slider mute desktop audio checkbox not checked.
make sure you guys can still hear everything when I check this back.
Volume mute desktop audio checkbox not checked.
Okay, can you guys still hear Brandon or whoever? Can you guys still hear the simulator? And you can still hear me, okay, right? Just let me know if you don't, but you should still be able to hear me. I'm gonna wait on you guys to answer me first, and then I'll move on.
Brandon Armstrong. Yes.
Okay. I think that's the easiest way to do that. Is just whenever I'm going to be showing you guys stuff, is just
Rook Talon. Yep,
uncheck that
I
box.
can still hear the
then
sim.
you guys can hear the reader whenever I need you guys to hear it. Like when I'm doing tutorials or something like that. And there's really nothing.
GOCU54. I can hear you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Okay. We should be good to go with First Officer. Again, make...
Sunfire 11. Yet.
Okay, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure that you do your database with TFM. You got to have that. So, the things that you must have is Navigraph, the the .NET 9 and database. Those three things, you got to have all three of those. The nice thing is you don't got to download the Make Runways with the latest version of TFM. Okay, someone asked me through Facebook. Hold on. Yes, you can still use your other TFM for flying the 737 if you've got this one installed. They do not interfere with each other. I thought Josh told me that that you couldn't use one when Brandon, I thought Josh said there was a problem having both of them, but Andy said no, you're good to go. And I've got the other TFM, so I'll find out when I go to do another flight for my airline. But the other cool thing is now I can find an airline where I can fly this airplane. So that's pretty exciting. I should have showed you the pop-out windows. Let me do that real quick.
Sunfire 11. You can use both.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Andy. Let me show you guys the...
Not checked.
Alright, let me get this back and I'm going to show you the pop-out window again real quick.
Microsoft star initial altitude not powered column 4406. Not powered window. FMC display edit red only alt plus home. The CPU is powered off.
Okay, so if I wanted to have this as a pop-out window...
TFM collapsed alt plus T aircraft collapsed alt nav data collapsed alt plus N3 of 5.
Where is it under? I got
Expanded. Gates G1 of 2. Data
Oh.
license L1 my account. Airports data keyboard K2 pop-out window P3 of 7.
pop-out window.
Not powered window. FMC display edit red only alt plus home. The CPU is powered off.
Now, this window here,
Init ref button alt plus FMC the CPU is powered off.
it's on its own window now. Look,
Talking flight monitor 01 talking flight monitor window.
there's Talking Flight Monitor, the main window.
Not powered window. FMC display edit red only alt plus
Sunfire 11.
And then there's
Don't
the...
rebuild it, but show them the airport's database window.
Okay, yeah, let me show that to you. And then if you don't want this pop-out window no more,
not powered.
I believe it's Alt F4. Right, Andy?
Not powered. Talking flight.
Yeah.
Not powered window. FMC display edit red only alt
Or
plus
is it
home. The
Control
CPU.
F4?
Not powered. Not powered.
No, it's Alt
Talking flight
F4.
monitor.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the database window. So
TFM collapsed alt plus T.
use your Alt key and then right
Aircraft
arrow.
collapsed alt nav data collapsed alt plus N tools collapsed alt plus 0405.
Go to Tools and down arrow.
Expanded. Airports database A1 of 6.
And then you'll see where it says
Keyboard K airports database A1 of 6.
Airports Database. Now, I'm not going to populate it again.
Total airports and airports database edit red only A41007.
This is what I've already got. So
Total airports and airports database edit red only A41733.
41,733.
Total runways edit red only R84999.
Runways.
Database up to date edit red only US.
And then it says database up to date. Yes. So if your database is not up to date, I believe it'll tell you no. Is that right, Andy? Am I understanding that correctly? If it needs updated, will it tell you right there?
Build progress edit red only P airports database is loaded.
And then you got build progress. It says already loaded.
Elapsed time edit red only E blank.
Elapsed time.
Check status button C.
Check status.
Build database button B.
Build database button.
Total airports and airports database
And
edit red
then
only
back to top.
A41733.
And then you can just Control F4 to close it.
View closed. Talking flight monitor window.
So I like the pop-out. Oh crap, I just closed my pop-out window. That's okay, because I'll get it back
Sunfire
after
11.
first officer
Yes.
comes back.
TFM collapsed alt
I'll
plus
just
D1
do
of
it
5.
now.
Expanded. Connection collapsed. Control keys collapsed. Seats. Choose aircraft collapsed. Expanded. 700. PFD 1 of 11. Com radios. Nav rate. T. Cot transport. Doors. D6 of fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11.
And then remember, you got all these other ones too,
Fuel of
guys.
doors.
Like
T. Nav com radio. Seats. PFD 1 of 11.
you got the PFD as well. Let's look at that.
ASL altitude edit red only S911. ASL altitude edit red only S911.
ASL altitude,
AGL altitude edit red only A133.
AGL
Heading
altitude,
edit red only C296.
heading,
Indicated airspeed edit red only I0.
indicated airspeed,
Ground speed edit red only G0.
ground speed,
Mach edit red only 0.01.
Mach,
Vertical speed edit red only V0.
vertical speed.
Altimeter edit red only T1013, 29.91. 0, 1, 0, 1.
Now, Andy,
Left,
can
9,
you
1, right, land.
can you update these right here? Like
Vertical altimeter edit red only T1013.
the altimeter, can you
Land. Right
change
parent,
the
right parent 1.
or just for reading only?
Right land. Pitch edit red only P level. Bank edit red only D level. Flight director pitch edit red only FN/A.
Flight director.
Flight director bank edit red only DN/ASL altitude edit red only S911. 1. Land.
I think this might be just for getting the info, I believe. Or can you update it here with what altitude you want, Andy?
Sunfire 11. No, real-time read-only view.
Okay, so this is just the informational window, which I think would be good to have. And Andy, can you have more than one pop-out window or just one at a time? So if I wanted to keep this one for informational, could I have this as a pop-out at the same time as another one? Or is it one window at a time?
Sunfire 11. As many as you want.
So see, like I could have this window as a pop-out window, and I could always have that to go back and get information. But you can also still use hotkeys to get information
altitude edit red only
too.
A133. ASL altitude edit red only S911.
And then another thing you can do is you can edit the hotkeys as well. I have not messed with that yet. At some point I will, but until I do, I'm not going to tell you what's what on it because I don't know yet. I've not messed with it, but I know you can change hotkeys. So maybe you want to get you want a different hotkey to get your altitude or your speed or whatever. So, but for now I'm going to
PFD.
just close this with Control F4. Now, pop-out windows is Alt F4 to close them. If it's not a pop-out window, you just use Control F4.
View closed. Talk in flight monitor window.
Okay.
Ops 31.0.3 Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0 column Microsoft Flight Simulator.
All right. So,
Talk in flight monitor Ops 31 properties mute desktop audio checkbox not checked.
all right. If I think of anything else, I'll unmute the screen reader again and give you that. So yeah, make sure that you do your database. That's very important, or you won't be flying anywhere because you're going to have problems. I would recommend too to read the hotkeys so you know what the keys are. I still need to memorize them too, but once you start using them every day, it'll come to you pretty easily. So I'm not going to pop out my CDU yet until First Officer tells me to go ahead and do my SID and stars. Then I will do that. Again, the other thing to know is, yeah, you can be doing all this stuff while he's doing the walk around, but you don't got to rush, because if he comes back in and you've not done anything yet, it doesn't matter, because First Officer doesn't do any of that anyways. He doesn't do the stuff that you have to do. Which I'm surprised that First Officer didn't. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't program it like he did the 737, where he would program pretty much everything for you. The one thing I know you got to do on here, and I'm trying to remember to do your ILS alignment. When you're on that page, you go to the second page. I believe it's left soft 3.
Sunfire 11.
And then you go back
I
to the
recommend
first
popping
page and
everything
right
out
soft
from the very
5.
beginning. Things can get quite intense.
Yeah, well, I'll pop it out when he tells me to do the Sid and Star. I don't. Once I get in the air, I'll have all my pops out where I need them. But what was it to do the alignment? Was it when you're on that page, you go to the second page and do, I think, left soft 3, and then go back to the first page and do right soft 5, I believe. I always get that mixed up, but nice thing having this one, you're going to know when something's done as well. So, because it'll tell you. So, like when you're waiting for him to finish up with the speeds and altitudes for your leg page, you'll know when it's done.
Sunfire 11. Page 2, 3 left to page 1, 5 right.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember 100%. So this is cool. Let's get things going here. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead let me go ahead and pop out I'm gonna go down here, FMC, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that one out. Okay, FMC. So we'll go ahead and hit enter on that. And I'll just do it on the left CDU here. And then I'm going to pop it out. There we go. And I like it because it tells you at the top the CDU is powered off. And you know, the nice thing is, now that they've got the delete key for the scratch pad and stuff, you can also, let's say that you've got a waypoint that you really don't need in there. You can select it and then use the delete key and delete it. Couldn't really do that before because we didn't have a actual key for that to delete
Sunfire 11.
the waypoint.
Did you check out the MCP yet?
Let me see. Okay, yeah, let's check it out. Let me unmute this reader.
Not checked.
Okay.
MCP row 1 column 2 MCP window MCP tab control altitude tab selected 1 of 5 altitude edit.
So this is the MCP, and there's different tabs, which means you can
Speed tab selected 2 of 5 indicated edit selected 200
do control tab.
heading tab selected 3 vertical speed tab selected flight controls tab select altitude tab selected 1 of 5 altitude edit selected 10,000
So see, you got the altitude there.
intervene button I
Intervene.
VNAV toggle button not press B
VNAV, kind of like what we had.
level change toggle button not press L
Level
hold toggle button
change,
not press H
hold,
altitude tab selected 1 of 5
and then back up to
altitude edit
the
selected 10,000
altitude. And then you can
land 10,000 unselected speed tab selected 2 of 5
Speed.
indicated edit selected 200
indicate
toggle button press I
intervene.
mode indicated button M intervene toggle button press I
It's interesting because it has it as pressed right now for
Sunfire
intervene.
11. Don't forget Control +1 Control +5 to change tabs.
Oh, that's right.
Altitude tab selected 1 of 5.
So-
Altitude entity selected 10,000.
I just did control +1. Thanks, Andy. That took me back to altitude. I can do control 2.
Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Indicated entity selected 200.
There's speed. Control 3.
Heading tab selected 3 of 5. Heading entity selected 360.
Heading. Control 4.
Vertical speed tab selected 4 of 5. Vertical speed. Managed edit red only E selected FMC.
Vertical speed. And control
Flight control tab
5.
selected 5 of 5. Left flight director toggle button not press control +L.
And what I think I'll do is I'll just leave this window popped out.
Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude entity selected
That
10,000.
way I can quickly get to it. Like Andy said, I'm going to go ahead and pop it out.
TFM collapsed alt aircraft nav data collapsed tools collapsed alt expanded keyboard pop up window P3 of 7.
It sounds so violent when I say I'm going to pop it out.
Keyboard case pop up window P3 of 7. MCP window MCP tab control altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude entity selected 10,000.
And then,
Intervene button I. Altitude entity selected 10,000.
Andy, when you're on, like, for example, I'm on the altitude tab here.
Intervene button not. VNAV toggle level change toggle button not press L.
If I'm down, say, on level change button, can I still do Alt-E to go back to the edit?
Altitude entity selected
Yes, Alt-E, and now to go back to the edit field for the
10,000.
altitude.
10,000 and select 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, land, land.
And you can do the same thing for
Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Indicated entity
speed.
selected
If you're
200.
not on the edit box, you can
Intervene mode.
just Alt-E,
Indicated entity selected 200.
and there it is. By default, code and dark,
Intervene toggle button press I.
the intervene is toggled, you guys, just so you know.
Mode indicated button M.
Right now it's on the mode indicated.
CLB/con button C. Auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button press. CLB/con button C.
What is that button, Andy? COB,
Auto throttle group. CLB/con button C.
COB con button.
Auto throttle. CLB/con button C.
I don't know what that is. That for climb? Does that take you to the climb page or something? I don't know what that is.
Auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button press L. CLB/con button C.
It says COB
Auto CLB/con button C.
/ con button C.
Auto throttle. CLB/con button C.
We'll wait for Andy to answer on that. I'm not sure what that.
Sunfire 11. Emergency thrust.
Oh, so it just gives you a lot of thrust if you're trying to have more thrust, maybe to climb quicker or. Okay.
Auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button press L. Right arm toggle button press R. Left arm toggle button press L.
Left arm press.
Right arm
Right
toggle
arm
button. Engage toggle
press.
button not press G.
Engage.
Auto brakes combo box off collapse B.
Auto brakes off.
Speed brake edit red only is down. Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Indicated entity selected 200. Intervene toggle button press I.
Okay.
Mode indicated button M. CLB/con button C.
So, anyways,
Flight controls tab selected 5 of 5. Left flight director toggle button not
and
press.
these are your flight controls.
Right flight director. Left flight director toggle button.
Left
Right flight director toggle
director.
button not press control +R.
Right flight
Left autopilot
director.
toggle button not press control +Shift. Right
Autopilot.
autopilot toggle button not press control. Left autopilot toggle. Right autopilot toggle but approach mode toggle button not press Alt +A.
So you got left and right autopilots.
Right autopilot approach mode toggle button not press Alt +A.
Approach
Localizer
mode.
toggle button not press Alt +L.
Localizer
Bank limit auto button B
mode.
Alt +C.
Bank limit.
Disengage bar toggle button not flight controls tab selected 5 of 5.
And then back to that. So,
Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude entity selected 10,000.
very cool.
Talking flight monitor 01 column 2
All right.
8. Ops 31.0.3 profile untitled C. Ops 31 volume select mute desktop audio checkbox not checked.
Let's see if we can get first officer to do his stuff here. Okay. I'm not going to put on
Sunfire 11.
say intentions at the
Try
moment.
right bracket Z.
At what point do I need to be somewhere specific to do that? Right bracket Z. Where do I need to be to do that? It just says blank.
Sunfire 11. No. Access for all. Watching this stream.
Alrighty, appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. I did right bracket Z. I don't. It just says blank, Andy. Unless you're saying right bracket C, and then that shows you what, you know, where we are here.
Access for all. Watching this little stream here.
Alrighty. And then right bracket shift C. Tells you your comm information. I did right bracket L. It said up. I don't know what that does.
Sunfire 11
degrees Fahrenheit.
Right bracket Z gives you the autopilot status. Access for all. He said C.
Well, when I hit it right now, it just says blank. So if I do like, you can do right bracket W and it tells you your next waypoint. This is very cool. And then attitude mode, you guys, is still right bracket, left bracket.
Rook Talon.
Okay.
I imagine there's no status to give since the plane is cold and dark.
Well, that's what I'm guessing, but before I knew what it was, that's why I said it wasn't saying nothing. Alright, so let's go ahead and, like I said, I'm not using say intentions right off. Let me get a hang of this, and then we'll bring in say intentions. Again, it's been a minute since I've flown this. I flew it about a month ago, but it was much different, and there were little problems that I was having, but I think we'll be okay this time. It's just a matter of doing things in the correct order here. Alright, so we'll connect.
Starting pre-flight flow.
Good evening, Captain.
Alright, here he goes. Still says CDU powered off, but he added power to the... there we go. Why am I not seeing on line 1? There it is. Okay. Just took a minute to warm up. That's wild. That's cool how it acts more like the real thing now. But let's go do our plan page real quick.
Heading out for the walk around.
Okay. So he didn't even... Alright. So... let's go ahead and... right here's what he was talking about. Okay. Okay, it's... okay, so I need to go... left soft 3, and then back up to the first page, and then right soft 5. Oh wow, it aligned right away. Okay. And then root. On the route page, Andy, refresh my memory. Do I type in the departure and arrival at the top? Or do I go to request? I can't remember. Because there's an activate at the bottom. It says activate, but I don't see it. Don't at the top of the route page. It don't show nothing there yet. I can't remember. Still with me, Andy?
Brandon Armstrong. I'm here. Sunfire 11. Yes.
Yes, what? I don't know what. And then there's, okay, so I got the departure and arrival at the top. I executed it. Do I save it after that? Or do I not have to save it? Oh, here we go.
Aircraft looks good.
Load.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested.
Flight instruments.
Set.
Parking brake.
On.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist completed.
Okay.
Sunfire 11. Sorry, had to get on laptop.
You're good. .1. 5061.
Sunfire 11. The lag on the app sucks.
$33,000. Hold on. I'm just working on this stuff, guys. Let's see if that's right. Reserve 21.6. So I'm on my perf init page. I got everything in, but I didn't hear it say execute. I've got my stuff on line 1. Line 2's good. Line 3 looks good. Line 4 looks good. Per init step size. I accepted it. I can't remember. Is there anything that goes on line 5? Let me turn on my thing so you can hear it, Andy.
Sunfire 11. You have to press 5 left to reject it before anything else.
Oh, crap.
Sunfire 11. And no, you don't execute it in the 77.
Okay, well I think I got everything in here right.
6. Let's erase thrust per minute.
So this is the top of perf init.
CRW TCRZ alt.
Here's line 1.
1. 506.1 floor to 350. Fuel cost index. 2. 20.1 pounds calc 85.
That's line 2.
ZFW mid fuel temp. 3. 486.0 minus 37 degrees C.
That's line 3.
Reserve CRZCG. 4. 21.6 14.0%.
Line 4, everything here looks
Per minute step size.
good to me.
5. Let's request RVSM. 6. Let's erase thrust limb greater.
And then let's erase and then thrust. Yeah, we need to go to that page.
Thrust limb execute number 1 not available. Thrust limb. Cell O to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101 point. Land. 2. Less to less cell greater less arm greater CLB greater.
What do I hit here? Left 2 and right 2 or just left 2?
Thrust limb.
On the thrust limb.
Cell O to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Land. 2. Less to less cell greater less arm greater CLB greater.
I can't remember.
Sunfire 11. You really needed to get that from some brief.
No, that is from SimBrief on the previous page. I did put in the information.
Thrust limb.
As close as I think we'll be fine on that, but on
Thrust limb.
thrust limb, do you do like you do in the 7.3? I can't remember. Do you do left 2 and right 2, or do you do just? I don't remember.
Cell O to 1. 14 degrees C 101.5 for land. 2. Less to less cell greater less arm greater CLB greater. To 1. 2. Less to less cell greater less arm greater CLB greater.
Sunfire 11. No, you have to get your takeoff perf from some brief. It tells you V1, VR, V2, flaps, drate, and bleed states.
Land. 2. Less the less cell greater less arm greater CLD greater.
Hold on, let me go to it then. I thought that first officer did the speeds. Could have swore he did before.
Desktop list. Flight simulator. Gold wave. Google Chrome 3 of 30. Gold wave. Google Chrome 3 of 39.
But he might not though. I might be wrong.
Simbrief.com selected. Simbrief.com virtual flight planning solution. Banner landmark Iraq site. Current link. Facebook link. Facebook.
Let me go to my
link. Privacy settings. Update Iraq link.
here.
Simbrief. Logout. Jot. Navigate. About link. Register link. Dispatch visited link. Register link. Dispatch visited link. Simbrief dispatch. Figure heading level 1 Simbrief. Banner landmarks. Checkbox not checked. Navigation. New flight link. Edit flight link. View flight plan link.
Alright, I'm on view flight plan. Now what am I looking for?
Figure heading levels. Main landmark flight info heading level. Figure flight number heading level 2.
Sunfire 11. First officer doesn't program the FMC in the 77 anymore.
Yeah. I got you.
Figure Kelson heading level 2. Figure departure heading level 2. Figure arrival heading level 2. Figure alternate heading level 2. Figure aircraft heading level 2.
Let me find where the speeds are.
Figure departure date heading level 2. Figure departure heading level. Figure arrival heading level 2. Figure airtime heading level 2. Out of figure heading level 2 block time 7:30. Out of figure heading level 2 airframe pmdg 77. Out of figure heading level 2 initial altitude 33,000. Out of figure heading level 2 cruise profile psi 124. Out of figure heading level 2 route distance 3006. Out of figure heading level 2 average wind 206. Out of figure heading level 2 wind component P05. Out of figure heading level 2 ISA deviation P0. Out of figure heading level 2 release number 1. Out of figure heading level 2 Iraq cycle 2503. Out of figure heading level 2 OFP layout Lido. Out of figure heading level 2 units LPS. Out of figure heading level 2 navlog yes.
Can I get to these speeds by pressing H? Or do I gotta arrow down through all this crap?
Out of figure heading level 2 edits yes. Out of figure heading level 1 load sheet all weights and LP heading level 1 link hide details. Figure heading level 2 en route burn 121,224 pounds. Out of figure heading level 2 passenger 0.
It will be under runway analysis.
Figure empty weight heading level 2.
Okay.
Figure estimated ZFW heading. Figure estimated tow heading. Figure estimated LW. Figure block fuel 100. Figure cargo heading. Left figure payload heading. Figure max ZF. Figure max tow. Figure max L route hide details heading. Dispatch remarks. IATC flight plan briefing preview. How do I read this brief? Runway analysis about takeoff and landing. Help.
Aha, here we go.
Heading level 1 link show details. Figure takeoff and landing report GSI 009DW. Kind DTLL 14 APR 25. TLR 1 sec 131,675,553 14 APR 250120Z. /CPMDG 77 FD 777 FGE 9110 D1 L2 view /CG 318,680 land // takeoff data //
Takeoff data, here we go.
App PRWY Post Line PQ NHPM RTW FLP Montana V1 VR V2 PTOW MFPTW limit. Kind 23R 15.0 145 M0820 23R.
Alright, 23R.
15.0 145 M08 29.79 7530 5 48 65 land. Kind 23R 15.0 145 M08 29.79 75 35 48 65 69 73 65 01 69 62 FLD. Land RMKSD to cell temp 48.
Is that, where is V1 at?
Land kind 23R 15.0 145 23R 15.0
20 right, and it says
App PRWY Post Line PQ NHPM RTW FLP Montana V1 VR V2 PTOW MFPT PRWY Code Line PQNH PMRTW FLP Montana V1 VR V2
V1, VR, and V2.
PTOW MFPTW limit kind 23R 15.0 145 M08
So 145, that must be for VR.
space 145 M 08 space 2 9 dot 7 9 space
But I don't see VR and V2.
7 5 3 0 space 5 space 4 8 space 6 5 space 6 9 space 7 3 space 6 5 0 1 space 6 9 6 2 space F line feed FLD land RMKSD to cell temp 48 leads on land RWY wind QNH MRTW FLP V1 VR V2 PWR conflicts land the cars runways RWY cars length PMTOW notes 05L 11,275 31 Ils 111.75
I don't see the speeds under this, though. I only see
05R 10,067 14 72 78 66 51 Ils 110.50 050 R to the car land
right here.
land leads on RMKSD to cell temp 48 land kind 23R 15.0 145 M08 29.79 75 35 48 65 69 73 65 01 69 62 FLD FPRWY Coastline PQNHPMRTWFLP Montana V1VR V2PTOWMFTTW limit. Land. // takeoff data / land FPRWY.
I don't.
Sunfire 11. Keep going to the next block of runways.
Okay.
Kind went land. RMKSD to cell temp leads on land. RWY wind QNHMRTWFLP V1VR V2PWR conflict / condition. Land. The cars runways. RWY a cars length PMTOW notes. 05L 11,275 31 Ils 111.75 05 14 72 78 66 51 Ils 110.50 23L 10,073 87 Ils 111.15 23R 11,275 30 Ils 111.75 32 72 78 59 41 Ils 110.50 Land. Dry RWY PTOW com wind. RWY MTOW Montana conflict FLP V1VR V2 limit. 05L 67 36 33 D to 1 leads on 5 164 168 172 FLD.
Right there.
Sunfire 11.
RW05L
Next block.
RWYMTO 05L 67 36 33 D to 1 leads on 5 164 05R 73 86 45 D to leads on 15 150 14 64 90 FLD. 23L 73 86 45 D to leads on 15 156 123R 75 14 75 14.
Here we go.
23R.
So 23R.
75 14. 57514 space.
I don't know what that first number is. 7514.
23R 75 14 48. D 2 dash.
Sunfire 11. This one, yes.
Leads on
Bleeds on.
5 165
165.
169
169.
173
173. Let me write them down.
100 105 160 space 1 165 169 selected 173 selected. Copy the clip.
Let me copy that real
Ops
quick.
31.0 left FMC star initial altitude star land. 165 169 land.
Okay, so back on this page.
32 23R 75 14 48 D to leads on 5 165 169 173 FLD.
Is that saying it needs to be on flaps 5?
75 14
I don't know what that first number is. That 7514. What is that?
23R 75 14 23L 73 86 45 D 23R 75 14 48 D to leads on 5 165 169 173 FLD. 32 64 40 23R 75 14 48 D to 32 64 44 land. Dry RWYP land 30 23R 75 14 48 D to leads on 5 165 169 173 FLD.
Okay, so them speeds, where do you put them in at?
Star initial altitude 33 ops 31.0.3 profile untitled left FMC thrust limb column 4 of 9 left FMC thrust land 1 14 degrees C 101.5% cello to N1 thrust limb thrust limb
Sunfire 11. Flaps 5.
thrust limb cello to N1 1 14 degrees C 101.5% land 2 less to less cell greater less arm greater CLB greater to 1 3 less minus 10% CLB1 greater to 2 4 less minus 20% CLB2 greater land 5 less to B 6 less index takeoff greater
What do I do with this?
thrust limb
I gotta put the speeds in before I do my thrust limit page?
thrust limb cello to 1 14 cello to N1 cell oath 2 1 14 degrees C 101.5%.
I know the speeds go on the other page, but don't I gotta select something on this page first?
Sunfire 11. V1/VR/V2 on the takeoff page in 1R, 2R, and 3R.
Yeah, I know that. That's not what I'm stuck on. I'm talking about
limb.
the thrust limb page. I can't remember if I do left soft 2 and then right soft 2, or I don't remember what to select those.
Sunfire 11. No, put in your runways first, thrust limb next, then takeoff page last.
Put in my runways first. Where does the runways go? I'm completely lost, dude. You got me lost.
Sunfire 11. No, look at the rate it gave you.
I know what the speeds are.
Sim brief flight briefing Google Chrome row 1 column 6.
That's not where I'm lost, dude.
32 6 23 R 75 75 14.
23 right, 75 14,
48.
then it's 48, whatever that number is.
D 2 dash leads on 5 165
And I get the flaps.
5 165
165,
169
169, and 173. I understand the speeds.
32 64 44 F 23 R
But where do the runways go? That's where I'm lost.
left FMC thrust limb cello to N1 thrust limb cello to N1 14 degrees C 101.5% cello to N1 land day 4 doubling ready 6 less index takeoff greater
Sunfire 11. On the depart page.
How do I get to that page? Hold on.
Edit ref button alt plus I RTE button VNAV button alt lex button alt dev Arkansas button alt plus A hold button alt dev Arkansas button alt plus A
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you.
kind lex button alt VNAV RT edit ref FMC display edit red only FMC display kind departures 1 SIDS RT1 DAWNN105L land 2 ND205R land 3 Mario 514 land 2 land 1 DAWNN10 SIDS RTE1 runways kind departures 1/2
So do my arrival and departure first then, right?
kind departure 1/2
Sunfire 11. Remember, not much different than the 737.
Yeah, I forgot I gotta do my
kind departures 1/2
arrival and takeoff.
kind departure SIDS 1 DAWNN1 less L greater 05L tran 2 IIU05R land 3 MICE 14 4 23L land 5 23R
Yeah, you're right, dude.
land 5 23R
I'm glad you reminded me. I completely forgot.
kind departures 1/1 DAWNN1 less L greater sim brief star initial
Sunfire
altitude
11.
33,000 feet notepad column 3
Yes.
star initial land 106 feet land kind slash route
Okay.
slash 23R N0486 F3 hunt Mario 5 DDOCK
Mario 5.
left
Okay.
FM SIDS Art 1 DAW tran 2 IIU land 3 MICE land 4 land 5 land 4 land 3 MICE land 2 IIU tran 1 DAWNN1 star
Yeah, really
star
not have-
Mario 5 DDOCK Mario N048 Mario 5 DDOCK DCT DDOCK
V dot
Mario 5
and Mario 5,
left
and
FM.
I do not see those.
SIDS R kind departures 1 SIDS 1 DAWNN1 less L greater 23R trans 2 IIU land 3 MICE land 4 kind departures 1/1 SIDS R1 DAWNN1 less L greater 23R trans 2 IIU land 3 MICE land 4 land 3 MICE land 2 IIU trans 1 DAWNN1 less L greater 23R trans 2 IIU land 3 MICE
You know what? We'll just that.
execute number 1 not available kind departures 1/1 SIDS R1 DAWNN1 less greater 23R
Okay. Now.
kind departures 1 SIDS 1 DAWNN kind departures 1/1 kind departures 1/SIDS 1 trans 2 IIU less greater land 3
I ain't what I want, you ding
kind
dong.
departures 1/1 SIDS 1 DAWNN1 less greater trans 2 IIU less greater land 3 kind departures 1/1
How do I get back to my?
edit ref button alt plus I FMC display edit red only alt
I
plus
need my arrival
edit ref button alt plus I
page.
FMC display delete the ATN button radios but FMC refresh button alt clear scratch but next page line select scratch but edit previous page but execute but menu but fix but rock but hold but dev Arkansas lex button dev Arkansas button alt plus A FMC display edit red only alt plus kind departures 1/1 SIDS RTE1 runways 1 DAWNN1 less greater 23R trans 2 IIU less greater land 3 land day 6 less index route greater
Why is it not showing me?
Sunfire 11.
act RTE1 1 slash act
6
RTE
left.
kind departures 1/2 SIDS 1. DAWNN1 less plan 2. ND205R.
Oh, okay.
Land 3. Mario 5 land 4. Mirror land 3. Mario 514.
Now wait a minute.
Land 4. Mirror 7 land 5. 5 6. Less index root crater. Kinds of SIDS RTE1 runways. 1. DAWNN1 less act crater 0 land 6. Less index root crater.
That's right. You're right, Andy. Hold on.
Step slash art1. Less step kinds R crater. Land 2. EGLLR crater.
There it is. Okay.
Land 2. EGL colon 2 colon space space.
There we
EGL,
go.
EGL arrivals star 1. AILS 1 HL 09L.
Okay.
Star initial altitude 33,000 feet land. Carriage 09L slash EGLL. Nuke 1H. Nukra.
9 left.
Q38. Nukra 1H. U G U N U G.
Okay.
Left FMC stars 1. AILS 1 HL 09L. Land 1. AILS 1 HL 09L. Land 2. ARM 1 HL land 1. AILS 1 HL 09L. Execute num EGLL star 1. AILS 1H plan 2. ARM 1H plan 3. Bit 1Z plan 4. FITP plan 5. Haze 1H EPM.
Insufficient
EGLL
fuel.
EGLL right star 1. Han 1H plan 2. Lam 1H plan 3. Lam 1 plan 4. Lam 1 plan 5. Loca 2H. EGLF star 1. Nuke 1H. Land. EGLL
Deforks
rivals 1 slash 2.
uplink ready.
Star 1. Nuke 1H less trans 2. None bit land 3. BNN. Land 4. CHT. Land 5. EPM. 6. Lesser ACF 09 LINTC crater.
Let me see.
EGLL rivals 1
Insufficient
slash 2.
fuel.
EGLL star 1. Land. Land 2. OG. Land 3. Land.
Okay, so
EGLL rivals 1 slash 2. EGLL right star 1. Nuke 1H trans 2. None big. Land 3. BNN. Colon 3 colon space space. Land 3. BNN. EGLL rivals
Deforks
1 slash
uplink
1.
ready.
execute.
Execute number 1 not available. EGLL rivals 1 slash 1.
All right, now that I did my takeoffs and stuff, I need to go and do.
Delete button alt plus A. FM. Init ref button alt plus I. RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus V. Lex button alt plus G. Dep Arkansas button alt plus A.
What'd you say after the Sid and Star, Andy?
All button alt plus A. Dep Arkansas button alt plus A. All but rock button alt plus P. Fix button alt plus menu button alt execute button alt plus previous page button scratch but edit alt line select mode editor next page button alt plus clear scratch button alt plus refresh button alt FMC com button alt plus M. Radios button alt plus ATN button alt plus N. Delete button alt plus X. FMC display edit red only alt plus home EGLL rivals 1 slash 1. Init ref button alt plus I.
Sunfire 11. Thrust limb then take off.
Okay.
FMC display at stars RTE. Init ref button alt plus I. Takeoff ref 1 slash 2.
All right.
RTE init ref button alt plus I. FMC to takeoff ref 1 flap 1. 2. 2. Takeoff ref 1 slash 2. Flaps V1. 1.
So I put my flap on left.
Scratch but edit alt plus S land. CDU1 ready. FMC display edit red only alt plus home 1. Takeoff ref flat 1. 5 136 crater. Thrust ref V2. The 142 crater. CG free. Percent 154 crater.
Let me see something.
Star initial altitude 33,000 feet. Star initial land 165 speeds. Left FMC takeoff ref 1 slash 2 with scratch but edit alt plus S land. CDU1 ready. Land. FMC to takeoff ref flat 1. 5 165.
Why has he got two different speeds there? Hold on.
Takeoff rep 1, flap 1, 5 136 greater. Thrust VR. $20,098 lbs. Fuel flow 0 lbs.
Oh, I gotta go set my fuel too, because that's not. So after my runways, I did my. Okay.
Land, day 6. Less index thrust limb greater. Thrust limb. Cello to N1, 1. 14 degrees C 101.5 land. 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater.
So how do you do the thrust limb, Andy? Do you do like on the like the 7-3 and do left soft 2, right soft 2, or how do you do that?
Land. 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater. To 1. 3. Less minus 10% CLB 1 greater. To 2. 4. Less minus 20 to 2. Thrust limb. Cello to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Land. 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater. Colon. 2. Colon less. Space less T. Space. Space less SEL greater. Less. ARM greater. Space. Land 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater. Land 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater.
Sunfire 11. Look at your flight plan. It said D2, so look for the standard takeoff thrust on the left. Likely, you will then have standard climb on the right side.
Land 1. 14 degrees C 101 point. Land 2. Less to less cell greater, less arm greater, CLB greater. To 1. 3. Less minus 10 to 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2
Oh,
greater.
here it is.
To 2.
To 2.
4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. Land. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. To 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. Land. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater.
So would I do left soft 4, right soft 4?
To 2. 3. Less minus 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2. Land. 5. Less to B. 6. Less index. 5. Land. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. To 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2
Because I
greater.
know it was the. Oops, I hit the wrong one.
To 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. To 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater, CLB 2 greater. 2. Greater. Land. Greater 2. CLB. Greater. Arm.
Sunfire 11.
Less.
Did it give you a climb thrust?
To 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater, CLB 2 greater.
Yeah, it was.
Star initial altitude 33,000 feet. Notepad row 1 column 2 of 9. Simbrief flight briefing Google Chrome column 3 Simbrief flight 23L70 23R75 1448 degrees on 5 165 169 173 FLD. 23L73 86 45 23R75 14 23R.
Okay, on 20, right beside 23 right.
Sunfire 11. I think it gave you an OT of 48.
48.
It goes in one left.
Space 4 8.
Yeah, 48. That's right, Andy. You're right. Okay.
Left FM left FM.
I didn't know what that number meant.
To 2, 4, less minus 20 to 2, 3, less minus 10 to 1, 2, land, 1, 4, cello to N1, 1, 14 degrees C 101.5%, cello to N1, thrust limb, cello 1, land, 2, less to less cell greater, CLB greater, to 1, 3, less minus 10% CLB 1 greater, to 2, 4, less minus 20% less arm greater, CLB 2 greater,
Where is 48? You said left what?
land, 5, less to B.
Let me see what you said real quick.
Flight panel with restream chat row 1 column 2 restream. I think it gave you a note of 48. The clickable menu, but I think it gave you a note of 48. It goes in one left.
One left.
Main row 1 main with. Plan page button, home button. Main. Restream chat row 1 column 2 of 2 restream. Add on program. Sim brief flight sim. Left FMC thrust limb. Cello to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Land. 2. Less to less cell greater CLB great land. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Land. 2. Less to less land. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Cell O to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%.
Can you even hit one left?
Cell O to 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Land. 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. To 1. 3. Less my to 1. 3 to 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater. Thrust Lin. Cell O to N1. 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%.
Line 1 don't say
Land.
nothing about being armed.
2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. Land. Space. Land. 2. Colon. Less. T. Less. T. O. Space. 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 Less. S. E. L. Greater. Space. 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 Space.
Sunfire
L.
11. Type it into the scratch pad and load it into one left.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Type in what, 48?
Scratch with Alt plus S land.
See, that's new. I've never done this. Okay.
CDU1 ready. FMC display edit. Thrust Lin. Cell 1. 14 degrees C 101.5%. Colon. 1 colon space dash 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 space.
Aha.
Dash dash. Space.
Takeoff speeds deleted.
Cell OD1. 48 degrees C 14 degrees C 93.4%.
Sunfire 11.
Okay.
Yes.
Land. 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. Land 1. 48 degrees C 14 degrees C 93.4%. Land 1. 48 degrees C 14 degrees C
Okay, so I
93.4%.
typed it in there. Do I gotta hit one left again?
Land 2
Or
to 1 3 to 2 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. Land 5. Less to B. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater. To 2 3. Less minus 10% less arm greater CLB 1 greater. To 1
Lois
3.
Hughes.
Less minus 10% less arm greater CLB
Hello
1
John
greater.
and all.
hey Lois.
2. Less to less cell to 1 3. Less minus 10% less arm greater CLB 1 greater.
It says on line 3, Andy, that it's
To 1
armed
3.
for
Less minus 10% less arm greater CLB 1 greater.
less minus 10%.
less arm greater CLB.
Less arm greater.
One.
Sunfire
Greater.
11.
Climb 1
Type
greater.
it in, then press 1 left. Lois Hughes.
Thrust
On
in.
break
Cell 1.
LOL, so
48
I
degrees
thought
C
I
14
stopped
degrees
in and say hello
93.4%.
all.
Land 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater.
What are you up to, Lois?
To 1 3. Less minus 10% less arm greater CLB 1 greater.
But on line 3 it says it's armed, Andy, for...
To 4. Less to 2. 4. Less minus 20% CLB 2 greater.
I need it for 2, don't I?
Land 4. Less minus
That should be
20%
line
CLB 2 greater.
4.
4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater.
Okay, there I got... Right 4 is armed.
Thrust Lin. Cell 1. 48 degrees C 14 degrees C 93.4%.
Sunfire 11. You need D2 on the left, then load 48 into 1 left.
Land 2. Less to less cell greater
Lois
CLB greater.
Hughes. Smoke
Land.
break.
2 to 1 3 to 2 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater.
Lois Hughes.
Land 4. Less
At
minus
work,
20% less
LOL.
arm greater CLB 2 greater. Land 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CL 2 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater. Land.
So I typed it in. On line 1, I hit left soft 1.
5. Land 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater. Colon 4. Colon less 20% less arm
Line 4 says 20% arm
greater
greater.
CLB 2
Climb 2.
greater 2 space 2. Land 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater.
I hit left soft 1 like you told me, but it don't say nothing on line 1 about being armed.
Thrust Lin. Cell OD to N1. 1. 48 degrees C 14 degrees C 93.4%. Land 1. 48 cell OD to N1. Cell. Land. Cell. Oat. D. Oat. Cell. Space. S-E-L. Space. Space.
It does say S-E-L
Cell. Oat. D. Oat. Space. O-A-T. Space. D.
08 O
Oat. Cell. Oat. A-T. Space.
O-A-T
D. Dash. 2.
D
N1.
dash 2.
Land 1. 48 degrees cell OD to N1. Thrust Lin. Cell OD 1. 48 degrees C 14.
So I don't know if that means that line's done. Does you guys say armed on line 1?
2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. To 1 3. Less minus 10% CLB 1 greater 2 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater. Land 5. Less to B. Land 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater C. Thrust Lin. Cell OD to N1. S space S-E-L space. 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 O-A-T. Space. 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 D dash D O. Space. O. T. Dash D. Dash D O. Space. Space.
But line 1 says D2. Well, it says,
Thrust limb. Cell OT to N1. N1. 2. Dash. D. Oath. Cell. Land. Cell. Space. S-E-L. Space. 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 O-A-T. Space.
cell OAT
D. Dash. T-O.
D-T-O
1.
is
48
what it
degrees C. 14
says.
degrees C. 93.4%.
Well, above the
Land.
numbers.
1. 48. Dot. 93. Dot. 90 C. Degrees. 14 C. Degrees. 48. Degrees.
It says
C.
48
Degrees. 8. Degrees C.
degrees
Space.
C,
Space. C.
whatever that
space,
C
space,
is,
space,
and then
space, 1 4 degrees C. Space.
14 degrees
Space.
C,
Space. 93.4%.
and then 93.4%.
4.3.4%. Land. 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%.
That's what it says on line 1.
Land. 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. 3. Less minus 10% CLB1 greater. The 1. 2. Less to land. 1. Cell OT thrust limb. Thrust limb. Cell OT 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Thrust limb. Cell OT 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Cell 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Cell OT to N1. Thrust limb. Cell OT to N1. Cell. Oath. D. Dash. 2. N1. 1. 48 degrees C. 14. Land. 2. Less to 1. 3. Less minus 10% CLB 1 to 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater. Land. 5. Less to B. 6. Less index takeoff greater. Takeoff speeds deleted. 6. Less index takeoff greater. Takeoff rep 1. Takeoff rep flap 1. 5 140 greater. Thrust 2. 48 degrees CD to 145 104 seat 3. 27% 4.00 153 153 greater. Takeoff rep 1/2. Land. Take 6. Less index thrust limb greater. Thrust limb.
But how do I know if the thrust limb page is actually done?
Cell 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Land 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. The 1. 3. Less minus 10 to 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm greater CLB 2 greater.
I do see where it says armed on line 4, but I don't see where it says armed on line 1. I see what we put in there
Thrust limb. Cell 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%.
with the 48 degrees, yada yada yada. Lois, what are you doing? Just hang in there, guys. We're getting there. I just got to make sure I got this in here right. I don't know what indicates that the thrust page is actually complete. I know it says arm on line 4. Do I got to hit left soft 4 maybe?
Cell OT 1. 48.
No, I would not hit left soft 4.
Land. 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater.
It must be complete because it put the speeds in over on the...
The 1. 3 to 2. 4. Land. 5. 6. Less index takeoff greater.
Let me go back here for a minute.
Minute slash ref index. Land. 1. Less item nav data greater. Land 2. Less pose ALTF. Land 3. Less perf. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 5. Less takeoff load greater. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Thrust limb. Cell OT to N1. 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Land 2. Less to less cell greater CLB greater. The 1. 3. Less minus 10% CLB1 greater.
Yeah, because that wasn't right. It wouldn't even have the speed. It
The 4.
wouldn't.
Land 5. 6. Less index takeoff greater.
All right, let me go back here.
Minute slash land 1. Less item nav data greater. Land 1. Less item nav. Land 2. Less pose ALTN greater. Land 3. Less perf. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 5. Less takeoff load greater. Land 6. Less approach main greater. Land 5. Less takeoff load greater. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 4. Less thrust limbs. 4. Less thrust limb. Save. Space. S. 4. Less thrust limb save crater. Save panel state. CPU number 1 message light off. Land.
Oh, what did I hit? Save panel state.
File name. Save panel state.
Oh, I don't want to do
Interrupt button
that.
alt plus I. FMC disk file 1. Land 2. Land 3. Land 4. Land 5. Return 6. Less setup. Return 2. 6. Less land. 6. Less pmdg setup. Panel 1. Less aircraft state save crater. Panel pmdg's panel 1. Panel 2. Less option state load start 3. Cold dark 2. Land 4. Land 3. Cold dark 2. Startup 3. Cold dark 2. Land 4. Land 5. Return 6. Less menu about crater. Return 2. 6. Less menu about crater. Land 6. Less menu about crater. Land 6. Less menu about crater. Menu. FS1. Less FMC. Less at land 2. Land 1.
Takeoff
land 1.
speeds
Less item
deleted.
nav data crater. Land 2. Less pose ALTN crater. Land 3. Less perf. Land 3. Less per minute. GR1. 506.1 fuel 2. 20.1 pounds ZF3. 486.0 reserve 4. 21.4 fit 5. Less 6. Less index thrust limb crater. Thrust limb. Thrust cell 1. 48 degrees C. 14 degrees C. 93.4%. Land 2. Less the less cell crater CL to 1. 3. Less the 2. 4. Less minus 20% less arm crater CLV2 crater.
Okay.
Land 6. Less index takeoff crater. Takeoff rep flat 1. 140 crater. Thrust rep 2. 48 degrees CD to 1 on CG3. 27% 4.00 153 1 R double 4. 20 3 CG trim rep V2.
Oh, I got set trim.
2. 4 CG trim rep V2. 3. 27% CG trim rep V2. 2. 48 CG3. 27% 4.00 153. Elevator trim announcements off. Elevator trim announcements on.
Where do I go to set my trim?
Hit ref button alt plus I. RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus legs button alt plus step Arkansas button hold button alt plus rock button alt plus fix button alt plus menu button alt plus U. Execute button previous page button alt plus up scratch but edit alt. Line select mode edit red only alt. Next page button clear scratch but refresh button alt plus FMC com but radios button alt plus ATN button alt plus N. Delete button alt plus X. FMC display edit red only. Hit ref button alt plus RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus V. Legs button alt plus G. Step Arkansas button alt plus A. Legs button alt plus G. Act RTE 1 legs 1/10. FMC act RTE 2 on 1. Vectors 2 degree 2. SNEWA 319 slash. MOD RTE 1 legs 1/10. Execute number 1 available. Execute act RT 1 SNEWA slash 1 2. Point 319 slash Florida 220. 1 3. DAWNN 319 1 4. IIU point 83 N 5. 6. Less RTE 2 leg 5. Act RT route 1. BDOCK point 830 slash Florida 300. Act RTE 1 legs 1/10.
Takeoff
MODRTE 1 legs
speeds
1/10.
deleted.
Execute number 1 available. Execute number 1 not available. 1 SNEWA slash 1 2. Point slash 1 3. DAWNN slash 10,000 day. 1 4. IIU slash 034 degrees 1. 4034 degrees 124 4. IIU point 831 slash Florida 350. Act RT 01. Rod point 830 slash Florida 350. 02. Climb point 830 slash Florida 03. DUTSH point 830 04. WWSHR point 830 slash Florida.
Okay, we're good
Act
here.
RTE 01. JHW point. Act RT 01. EAN point 830 AJ point 803. Alex point 04. Allery point 830 slash Florida 300 05. 5150 N point 830 slash Florida 350. Act RT 01. 5340 N point 830 slash Florida 350. 02. 5430 N point 830 slash Florida 350. 03. 5520 N point 804. Resnow point 830 slash Florida 3. Act RTE 1 leg 6/10. Act RT 1 Opham point 830 slash 402. Backox 03. Babbitt point 804. Domax point 830 slash Florida 350. 1 5. Mallet point 830 slash Florida 350. Act RT 1 Valvey point 830 slash Florida 350. 1 2. Nubra point 830 slash Florida 350. 1 3. 1 4. 1 5. WCO 292 slash Florida 124. 1 4. Sabit 292 slash Florida 150. Act RT 1 DNN 220 slash Florida 70. 1 2. D170 70 220 slash Florida 70. 263. Lam 30 220 slash Florida 70. 2 4. Law 34 A 220 slash 6000 A. 1 5. GW 39 B 206 slash 3500 A. Act RT 01. CF 09L 189 slash 3000. 02. FF 09L 170 slash 2500. 03. RW 09L 170 slash 129. Act RTE 1 legs 10 slash 10. Act RTE 1 legs 10 slash
Alright,
10.
my leg page looks good.
Edit ref button alt plus I. Takeoff FMC display edit red only alt plus home. Takeoff ref 1 flap 1. 140 crater. Thrust 2. 48 degrees CD to 145 1 CG 3. 27% 4.00 153 153.
Deforked uplink ready.
Takeoff ref 1 flap 1. 140. Thrust 2. 48 degrees CD to 145 CG 3. 27% 4.00 153 153.
Where do you set your trim at now, Andy?
Trim up 0.00. Trim up 0.00. Elevator trim announcements off. Elevator trim announcements on. Init ref button Alt plus I. RTE button Alt plus T. VNAV button Alt plus V. Legs button Alt plus G. Step Arkansas button Alt plus A. Hold button Alt plus H. Prog button Alt plus P. Fix button Alt plus F. Menu button Alt plus U. Execute button Alt plus E. Previous page button Alt plus up arrow. Scratch but edit Alt plus S blank. Line select mode edit red only Alt plus LA. A. Next page button Alt plus line select mode edit red only Alt plus LA. Next page button Alt plus down arrow. Clear scratch but button Alt plus C. Refresh button Alt plus R. FMC com button Alt plus M. Radios button Alt plus O. ATN button Alt plus N. Delete button Alt plus X. FMC display edit red only Alt plus home 3. 20 RWY slash post GRW 3. 27% 4.00 153 150 CG trim 2. 4 thrust VR. Takeoff rep 1 slash 2.
That's the only thing that thing I got left to do. I need to do my trim, but I don't know where you go to set it. Let me see.
Sim brief flight brief star initial altitude for ops 31.mcp02 column 15 of 9. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Talking flight monitor column 3 set talking flight monitor. TFN expanded. Control keys collapsed C2. Choose aircraft collapsed C3 of 3. Expanded
Lowest.
777. TFD 1 of 11. Com radio C2 of nav radios N3 of 11. TCOS T4 of 11. Transponder T5 of 11. Doors D6 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Turnaround T9 of 11. Panels P10 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11. TFD 1 of 11. FMC panels turnaround MCPM 8 of 11. Fuel of 7 of doors D6 of 11. Fuel MCPM 8 of 11. MCP tab control. Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Intervene button I. VNAV toggle level change toggle hold toggle but altitude tabs. Altitude edit easel. Intervene button I. VNAV toggle but level change hold toggle altitude. Altitude edit E selected 10,000. Intervene button I. Altitude edit E selected 10,000. 3 unselected. 35,000. MCP altitude 35,000. Intervene button I. Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude edit E selected 35,000. Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Indicated edit E selected 200. Heading tab selected 3 of 5. Vertical speed tab select. Flight controls tab selected 5 of 5. Left. Vertical speed tab selected 4 of 5. Vertical speed managed edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene toggle button not pressed I. Vertical speed managed edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene vertical speed tab vertical speed managed intervene toggle button. Vertical speed tab select vertical speed managed intervene toggle button not vertical speed tab selected 4 of 5. MCP. View closed. Talking flight monitor window. Left FMC takeoff ref 1 slash 2 left FMC.
I don't know where my trim goes, guys.
Takeoff ref 1 flaps ref V1. 1. 5 140 140. Flap takeoff ref 1 slash takeoff ref 1 flap 1. 5 2. 48 degrees CD to 145 145.
Let me try something. Maybe this will do the trim.
Talking flight sim brief flat star initial ops 31 MCP Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0. Speed brake 4. Speed brake 16.
Whoa.
Speed brake 25. Speed brake 38. Speed brake 25. Speed brake 16. Speed brake 14. Speed brake 13. Speed brake 11. Speed brake 9. Speed brake 8. Speed brake 6. Speed brake 4. Speed brake 3. Speed brake 2. Speed brake 1. Speed brake 0.
Well, maybe that won't set the trim.
Num lock on. Num lock off. M. Left M. Num lock on. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0. Left FMC takeoff ref 1 slash 2 window. FMC display edit red only alt plus home 2. 48 degrees CD to 145 145. Init ref button alt plus I.
Alright.
RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus V. Legs button alt plus G. Step Arkansas button alt plus A. Hold button alt plus H. Prog button alt plus P. Fix button alt plus F. Menu button alt plus U. Execute button alt previous page button scratch but edit. Line select mode edit red only. Next page button clear scratch but refresh button alt FMC com button alt plus radios button alt plus ATN button alt plus N. Delete button alt plus A. FMC display edit red only. Init ref button alt plus RTE button alt plus T. VNAV button alt plus V. Legs button alt plus G. Step Arkansas button alt plus A. Legs button alt plus G. VNAV button alt plus V. Act 168 KTCLB 1 slash 3. FMC display edit red only. Act 168 KTCLB 1 slash CRZO to DAWNN 1. Florida 350 10,000 A. Econ SPD 2. 319 slash dot 831. SPD 3. 250 slash 10,000 18,000. Act 168 KTCLB 1 slash 3. Act 168 KTCLB 1 slash 3. ECNCRZ2/3. ECNCRZ2/CRZ old step 2. 1. Florida 350. Florida 390. ECN S2. 0.831 EGF3. 1057 Z. ECN day 3/3. E/D added 1. 129 ECN S2. 0.830 SP3. 240/Florida 100. Tobit/Florida 200.
Alright.
Act RTE1 legs 1 Act RTE1 legs 1 183 Dick 1 SNEWA 319/15140 101 SNEWA 319/15140 101 SNEWA 319/15140 183 degrees 22 nm. Act RTE1 legs 183 1 SNEWA 319.
Alright, so let's see.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38 Microsoft Flight Panel window Restream chat row 1 column 1 Restream chat document I think it gave you a note of 40 Main row 1 column 2 Main window Home button Plant check OFP button Radio frequency MSGCLR
Alright, so let's go to
add-on programs Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0 Right electrical primary hydraulic electric pumps completed. Left electrical primary hydraulic pump normal. Left electrical demand hydraulic pump auto. New notification from Ops Studio. Ops Studio reconnection successful to fuel pumps. Left aft fuel pump on. Left aft fuel pump normal pressure. Left air demand hydraulic pump normal. Right aft fuel pump on. Right aft fuel pump normal pressure. Right air demand hydraulic pump normal. Beacon light on. Secondary ground power off. Primary ground power unavailable. Right electrical primary hydraulic pump fault. Display select panel.
Flow
Flow
completed.
completed. To skip.
4-star checklist.
4-star checklist.
Flight deck door.
Closed and locked.
Passenger signs.
On.
MCP. Speed. 173. Heading. 229er. Altitude. 33000.
809
Set.
feet.
Takeoff speeds. B1 165. BR 169er. B2 173.
33,000
Checked.
feet.
CU pre-flight.
Completed.
Trim.
Set. Departure briefing. It will be a left seat takeoff from Kilo, India, November, Delta, 2, Echo, Golf, Lima, Lima. Taxi route is per ATC instructions. We'll be departing on runway 23, right. Climbing via the departure procedures to an initial altitude of 33,000 feet. Standard reject and emergency procedures apply. Any questions?
No.
Completed.
Beacon lights.
On.
The 4-star checklist completed.
Edit red only. MSGCLR.
okay.
Main. Edit red on. Get load sheet. Show IGSX. Show packs options button. Displays. Show ground options button. Displays the get airport info button. Request the airport. Free flight flow button. Free flight checklist. Before start check. Engine start button. Before taxi. Engine start button. Rest.
Starting engines.
Right engine starters. Restream chat row main column 1 1. Restream chat column main column 1 1 main window. Restream chat row 1. Restream chat documents. Main row main. Add-on programs. Microsoft. Left FMC. Left. Microsoft. Right engine primary hydraulic pump normal. Right IDG drive connected. Right backup generator on. Right engine starter normal.
Engine 2 started. Engine 2 cut out.
Right generator on. Right electrical primary hydraulic pump normal. Right air bleed auto. Left engine starter start. Left fuel control run. Left engine fire handle locked.
Lowest Hughes, incoming. Lowest Hughes, outgoing. Lowest Hughes, incoming. Missed. One call. Mobile. April 13, 2025 at 10:42 p.m. Button. Actions available.
80 pmdg 77. 80 pmdg. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0. Left FMCI start. Left Microsoft mic. Flight panel window. Main window. Engine start button. Right master caution on. Left master caution on. Flaps 15. before, get show ground options button, show packs option, show IG, get load sheet button, get weather button, edit red only multi-line blank, move your yoga stick left, right, up and down, radio frequencies button, move your yoga stick left, right, up and down, hold control, hold the skip, new notification from Ops Studio,
Neutral.
successful, dot 1 to 1 window,
Full right. Neutral. Full back. Full forward. Checked. Before taxi checklist completed.
15,
Okay, I need to fix my
Hey.
flaps because they're on the wrong.
add-on programs, Microsoft Flight Flaps are moving. Flaps 5.
There we go.
Runway guidance on. Tracking heading 296. Runway guidance off.
How do you jump to the runway? Oh. I know.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0. The cars begin for restream chat document. Main row main add-on program. Left FM talking flight monitor column talking flight monitor win. TFN expanded. Connection collapsed C1 of 3. Expanded. Connection status C3 of 3. PFD 1 of 11. Com radio C2 of nav radio Z3 of com PFFMC collapse panels P10 of 11. Gates G1 of 2. Runways R2 of 2. Airport ICAO edit A blank. Hills info edit I blank. Airport ICAO edit A blank. 6 runways loaded. Runways data grid. Tools collapsed alt plus 0 expanded. Airports database A1 of 7. Keyboard K2 of 7. Pop-up window D3 of 7. Speech history S4 of logs collapsed health settings collapsed data folder D7 of 7. Airports database A1 of 7. Keyboard K2 of 7. Pop-up window keyboard airports data folder D7 of 7. Settings collapsed logs collapsed speech history pop-up window keyboard K airports data tools collapsed alt plus 04 of runways data grid. 05L data item selected 1 of 6. Number 05 row 1 number column 1. Airport ICAO edit A kind. Runways data grid. 23R 23L data item selected 4 of 6. Width 1 23R data item selected 5 of 6. Width 148 row 5. 32 data item selected 6. 23R data item selected 5 of 6. Airport ICAO edit A kind. Hills info edit IFREG 111.75. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Oh. Not. Set. Runways data grid. 05L data item 1 of 6. Number 05 row 1 number column 1. Airport ICAO edit A kind. Runways data grid. 23R data item selected 5. 23L data item selected 23R data item selected 5 of 6. Width 148 row 5. Runway build runways 6. 1 of 1. Runways data grid. 23R data item selected 5 of 6. Width 140. Airport ICAO edit A
Approaching
kind.
runway
0
2,
knots.
Microsoft flight.
right.
Right landing light on. Strobe light on.
Flow completed. Before takeoff checklist. Flaps. Sit. Before takeoff checklist completed.
Alright, I'm just going to try it, guys. I think I got...
Microsoft Flight
Something
Simulator
might be
1.38.2.
off a little
Runway
bit,
row
but-
1 column 2 runways window. Airport ICAO edit A kind. View closed. Talking flight monitor window.
We're going to do it.
Microsoft Flight. Parking brake off. Auto throttle engaged. Speed brake down.
Thrust set. Checked.
20 knots.
Attitude mode enabled.
40 knots.
Speed alive. Checked.
60 knots.
80
80
knots.
knots.
Trim up
Checked.
0.0. Trim up 0.00.
100 knots. 100.
1 right.
140
1
knots.
right.
160
5 up.
knots.
6 up.
Rotate.
7 up. Wings level. Auto brakes off. Nav 1 has localizer. Nav 1 has lights.
Positive
Airborne. 10
rate.
up. 9 up. 10 up. 11 up. 12 up. 13 up. 14 up. Trim up 0.05. 15 up. Trim up 0.17. 16 up. Trim up 0.35. 17 up. Trim up 0.35. 18 up. Trim up 0.68. 1,000 feet.
Autopilot.
19 up. Trim up 0.81. 20 up. Trim up 0.94. Trim up 1.00. Trim up 1.07. 21 up. Trim up 1.12. Trim up 1.19. Trim up 1.26. Trim up 1.28.
Oh,
Speed at
well,
20
I did
Trim
it
up
all by
1.29.
itself,
Trim up 1.32. Trim up
dude.
1.37. Trim up 18 up. 18 right. Trim up 1.69. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Trim up 1.39. Trim up 1.27. 4 right. Attitude mode disabled. Trim up 1. Trim up 0.99. Trim up. Trim up. Elevator trim announcements off. 3,000 feet. Next waypoint Timio. Bearing 1530 FPM. 3061 feet.
Now, hold on one second, guys. I got to use the restroom real quick.
GS angle minus 360. Glide slope is alive. 4,000 feet.
The only thing I'm not sure of is when I get there. I know that obviously I've got to put it, once I
5,000 feet.
activate approach, but I think I've got to set the destination runway too. And I've not done that yet.
1454 FPM. 192.
How do I know if LNAV is active? Like,
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0.
oh boy.
Talking Flight Monitor 01 column 22 of 7. Talking Flight Monitor window. Nose landing light off.
Flow completed.
Talking Flight Monitor.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear.
EFM collapse alt plus aircraft collapse alt plus R2 of 5. Nav data collapse alt plus N. Tools collapse alt plus O. Help collapse alt plus tools collapse expanded. Airports keyboard K2 of speech history. Logs collapse help settings collapse test data folder D6 airports database A1. Gates G1 of 2. Runways R2 gates G1 of PFD 1 of 11. Com radio Z2 of 11. Nav radio Z3 of a T cos T4 of 11. Transponder T5 of 11. Doors D6 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11. 15,909
Oh,
LDS. Fuel
crap.
MCPM 8 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11.
Landing gear.
Center main at red only 0. Microsoft Flight Sim. Microsoft Flight Sim.
Landing gear.
6731 feet.
Gear up. Flaps.
5. 7,000 feet.
Up. After takeoff checklist completed.
How do I see if LNAV is on?
Flaps up.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Fuel row 1 column fuel window. Center main edit red only 0. Left main edit red only set. Center number 2 edit red. Right main edit red only set. Center main edit red. Left main edit center number. Right main edit center main. Left main edit center number. Right main edit center main. Left main edit center. Center main edit. Left main edit red. Center number 2 edit red only. Right main edit red only 7. Center main edit red. Left main edit red. Center number. Right main edit red. Fuel. View closed. Talking Flight Monitor window. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Left FMCI RTE 1 legs 1/10 column 3. Left FMCI RTE 1 legs 1/10 with FMC com. FMC display FMC plan 1. Less RT plan 2 plan 3 plan 4 uplift 5. Less wind. Uplift 6. Less day forecast ready. Uplift 5. Less wind. Uplift 4. FMC com. Plan 1. Less RTE 1 pose report greater. Plan 2. Less ALTN. Plan 3. Less perf. Plan 4. Uplift 5. Less wind. Uplift 6. Less day forecast ready. Day 4 plan. Day 4 6. Less day forecast ready. 9,000 feet. Day 4 6. Less day forecast ready. Uplink 5. Uplink 6. Colon space less. Day 4 uplink red 6. Less day forecast ready. Forecast. Space S. Space FORECAST. Space. Day 4 6. Less day forecast ready. Descent forecast. Trans 1. Florida 70. Alt with 2. Degrees left 4. Land 5 4 6. Less load purge greater.
Wind data uplink ready.
Wind day land. Land wind day 6. Less request day wind day
Passing
land.
10,000 feet.
6. Less request day greater. Left landing light off. Right landing light off. Taxi lights off. Forecast 5. Florida 1 forecast 6. Less request day greater. Wind land. Wind 6. Less request day greater. 4 5. Florida 100 land 4. Florida 200 land 3. Florida land 2. Alt wind 1. Florida 70. Land wind 6. Less request day greater. Wind data uplink ready. Land. Wind data uplink ready. 6. Hidden ref but mult plus I. RTE but mult VNAV but mult plus legs but mult plus Step Arkansas but mult plus all but mult plus a prog but mult plus fix but mult plus menu but mult plus execute but mult menu but mult plus U. Menu CDU number 1 message light off. Land. FMC display at menu. FS 1. Less FMC less land 2. DS3 land 4 land 5 land 6. FS actions greater. Land 6. FS actions greater. FS action route 1. Less fuel connections greater. Fuel. Total 1. 14,001. Hidden ref but mult plus I. FMC display at red only. Scratch with alt plus S land. 11. FMC display at red only alt fuel. Total 1. 14,011 5. Fuel. Total 1. 137,000 level TOC 2. 42.7% 20 fuel density 3. Less long range 6.61. Plant fuel LBS. 4. Less med range N/A. Plant fuel 4. Less med range N/A. Via plant 5. Less short range land 6. Less return land. Act
Wind
RTE 1
data
legs 1
uplink
slash land.
ready.
CDU number 1 message light on. Wind data uplink ready. Well, land. Wind 6. Less RTE 2 legs RTE data greater. 5. Rod point 8 6. Wind data land. Wind data uplink ready. Edit ref button mode plus I. RTE button mode. VNAV button mode. Legs button mode plus Step Arkansas button mode. All button mode plus A. Prog button mode plus Fix button mode plus Menu button mode plus U. Execute button mode. Previous page button mode plus Up. Scratch button mode plus S. Line select mode edit red. Next page button mode. Clear scratch button refresh button mode. FMC com button mode plus N. Radios button mode plus O. ATN button mode plus N. Delete button mode plus X. FMC display edit red only O plus home win data uplink ready. 13. Land. Win 6. Less RTE 2 legs RTE data greater. 5. Rod point 829 slash Florida 3. 6. Win dick land. Edit ref button mode plus I. RTE button mode plus T. VNAV button mode plus D. Legs button mode plus T. VNAV button mode plus D. Act Deacon CLB 1 slash 3. RTE edit ref button mode plus I. FMC display as Act Deacon CL1. Florida 3. Land. Win 6. CLD third greater. Land. Win 6. Land 5. And out greater. 4 slash 204 SP3. 18 trans 2. 300 Ethan S1. Florida 3 CR Act Deacon CLB 1 slash CRZL to DAW1. Florida 350
I don't know how to get to the wind.
Edit ref button mode plus I. RTE button mode plus T. VNAV button mode plus D. Legs button mode plus T. Step Arkansas button mode plus A. All button mode plus H. Prog button mode plus T. Fix button mode plus F. Menu button mode plus U. Execute button mode plus previous page. Scratch lines. Next clear scratch refresh button FMC radios button mode plus ATN button mode plus N. Delete button mode plus X. ATN button mode plus N. Radios button mode plus O. FMC com button mode plus M. Radios button mode plus ATN delete FMC display edit red only O plus home 1. Florida 350 10 Ethan STD. 1. Edit ref button mode plus RTE button mode plus T. Edit ref button mode plus I. FMC thrust lin. CL1. 96.6 land 2. Land 3. Land 4. Land 5. 6. Less index approach greater. Win data land. Win data uplink ready. 6. Less index approach greater. 16,006. Less index approach greater. 5. 6. Less index approach greater.
I don't know where my...
Approach ref 1 slash 1. Approach ref 1 close to 1. 620 land 2. Land in ref 3. Less QFE slash XQNH. Flat slash speed. 4. Slash. Land. 5. 6. Less index thrust limb greater. Approach ref 1 slash close 1. 623.720 degrees 174 kt. Land 2. 25 degrees 165 kt. Land in 3. Less QFE slash X kind 4. 11,200 feet 5. Edit ref button mode plus I. Thrust limb. FMC thrust limb. CL1. 97 point. Land wind 6. Less index approach. Edit slash ref land 1. Less item nav data greater 2. Less pose AL land 3. Less perf. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 5. Less takeoff low greater. Land 6. Less approach main greater. Land 6. Less approach main greater 18,000 feet. Land 5. Less takeoff low greater. Land 4. Less thrust limb save greater. Land 3. Less perf. Land 2. Less pose ALTN greater. Land 1. Less item nav data greater. Land. Edit slash ref index. Land 1. Less item nav data greater. Colon.
Arrangs. To answer your question earlier, to see if nav/vnav is on, bring up the MCP window and they're in the speed and heading areas.
19,000 feet.
How do I get to the wind to set the wind speed?
Edit ref button mode plus I. RTE button mode plus T. VNAV button mode plus legs button mode plus T. Step Arkansas button mode plus A. All button mode plus H. Prog button mode plus T. Fix button mode plus F. Menu button mode plus U. Execute button mode plus E. Previous page button mode scratch with edit alt plus line select mode edit red only alt plus LA. Next page button mode plus clear scratch with button mode plus C. Refresh button mode plus R. FMC com button mode plus M. Radios button mode plus O. ATN button mode plus N. 20,000 feet. FMC display edit red only alt plus home 1. Land. Wind data uplink ready.
It says wind data uplink ready, but I don't know where that's at.
Act RTE 1. Land. Wind 6. Less RTE 2. Land. Wind day 6. Offset 5. Direct climb. Offset. 5. Land 4. Direct drop. Land 3. Direct deep. Land 2. Direct high up. Land 1. Via 2. Act RTE 1 2 slash 6. Talk in flight monitor 01 columns. Talk in flight monitor window. TFM aircraft collapse alt plus R2 of 5. Nav data collapse alt plus N3 of expanded. Gate runways R2 of 21,000 feet. Runways R2 of gates G1 of 2. Runways R2 of gates G1. PFD 1 of 11. Com radio C2 of 11. PFD 1 of 11. FMC collapse F11 of 11. PFD com radio. Nav radios T cos T4 transponder T5 of 11. Doors T6 of 11. Fuel of 7 of MCPM 8 of 11. Turn around T9 of MCPM. MCP window. MCP tab control. Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude edit selected 33,000. Speed tab selected 2. Heading tab selected 3 of 5. Head intervene button I. Mode HDG button M. LNAV toggle button press L.
Okay, it says LNAV is toggled.
Mode H intervene button I. Heading edit selected 200. Heading tab selected 3 of 5. Heading edit intervene button I. Mode HDG button M. 22,000. LNAV toggle. All toggle button. Heading tab selected. Heading edit selected 200. Intervene button I. Mode HDG button M. LNAV toggle button press L. Mode HDG button M. LNAV toggle button press L. Altitude tab selected 1 of intervene button I. VNAV toggle button press V. Level change toggle button. All toggle button. Altitude tab selected 1 of. Altitude edit selected. Altitude tab. Speed tab selected 2 of intervene toggle button. CLV slash auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button press L. Right arm toggle button press R. Engage toggle button press G. Auto brakes combo box off collapse speed. Speed brake edit red only S down. Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Manage edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene toggle button not press I.
Okay, cool. I got that. We're all good there. I still got to add the runway to land, don't I?
CLB/com button C. Auto throttle moving. Left arm toggle button press L. Right arm engaged. Auto brakes. Speed brake edit red only is down. Heading tab selected 3 of 5. Heading edit E selected 200. Vertical speed tab selected 4 of 5. Vertical speed. Managed edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene toggle button not press up. Vertical speed. Managed edit red only. Intervene. Vertical speed tab selected 4 of 5. Vertical speed. Managed edit red only E selected FMC. 20 FMC. FMC unselected. FMC. Land. Land. C. Land. Intervene toggle button not press I. Flight controls tab selected 5 of 5. Left flight director toggle button press control. Right flight director left autopilot top right autopilot top approach mode toggle button not press A Alt plus A. Localizer hold toggle button not press L Alt plus L. Hang limit auto button D Alt plus B. Disengage R toggle button not press. Flight controls tab selected 5. Left flight director toggle button right flight director toggle left autopilot toggle right autopilot toggle approach mode toggle button not press A Alt plus A.
Well, there's where approach is. I know that.
TFM collapse Alt plus T1 of 5. Aircraft collapse nav data collect tools collapse expand keyboard pop up speech history yes pop up window T3 of 7. Top MCP window MCP tab talking flight monitor 01 left FMC RTE 12/6 column 3 of 8 20 left FMC RTE 12/6 window FMC display edit red only Alt plus home at RTE 12/6 edit rep button Alt plus I RTE button Alt plus T VNAV button Alt plus D. Legs button Alt plus G. VNAV button Alt plus D. Legs button Dev Arkansas button Alt plus A. Hold button Alt plus H. Rod button Alt plus P. Fix button Alt plus F. Menu button Alt plus U. Execute button Alt plus E. Previous page button Alt plus up arrow. Scratch with edit Alt plus S land. 26,000 feet line select mode. Clear scratch with button Alt plus C. Refresh button Alt plus FMC radios button Alt plus ATN button Alt plus N. Delete button Alt plus FMC display edit red only Alt plus home at RTE 12 left FMC at RTE 12/6. Edit rep button Alt plus I. RTE button Alt plus T. VNAV button Alt plus D. Legs button Alt plus T. VNAV button Alt plus D. FMC display edit red only Alt plus home at RTE 12/6. Delete button Alt plus X.
Okay.
Left FMC at RTE 12/6. MCP 01 column 2 of 8. MCP window. MCP tab control. Altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Altitude intervene button I. VNAV toggle button press V. Level change toggle button not press L. VNAV intervene altitude edit E selected 33,000. Vertical speed tab. Flight controls tab selected 5 of 5. Left flight director toggle button press left FMC at RTE talking flight monitor column 3 Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2. Star initial altitude 30 ops 31.0 MCP column 4 7 of 8. MCP window MCP tab control altitude tab selected 1 of 5. Hold top altitude intervene button I. MCP. MCP window, MCP tab control, flight controls tab selected 5 of 5, left FMC at RTE 12/6 row 1 column 2, left FMC at RTE 12/6 window, FMC display edit red only Alt plus home, delete button Alt plus X. New Albany, Indiana, United States, 0.6 nautical miles, 115 degrees. $28,000 feet. FMC menu button Alt plus U. Execute button Alt plus previous page button Alt scratch with edit Alt line select mode edit red only Alt plus LA. Next page button Alt clear scratch with button refresh button Alt FMC com button Alt plus N. Radios button Alt plus O. ATN button Alt plus N. Delete button Alt plus X. FMC display edit red only Alt plus home at RTE 12/6. Delete ATN but radios button Alt plus O. FMC com button Alt plus N. Radios button Alt plus O. ATN button Alt plus N. ALTN 1/2. Delete button FMC display edit red only Alt plus home ALTN 1/2 20 left FMC ALTN 1/2
Huh.
3615/0:64055 3480/0:62723. Nav 2. 117.50.
So 6 hours it claims.
Left FMCA LTN 1/2. Left FMCA. MCP window. MCP tab control. Flight controls tab selected 505. Right flight left autopilot. Right autopilot. Approach mode toggle. Localizer hold toggle. Hang limit auto button. Disengage hard top. Flight controls tab. Left flight director toggle. But right flight director. Left autopilot. Right autopilot. Approach mode toggle button. Not press it. Talking flight monitor 01 columns. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1 star initial altitude. Ops 31.0. CDU commands. Talking flight monitor document. MCP column 1106. MCP window. MCP tab control. Flight controls tab selected 505. Up localizer hold toggle button. Not press L plus L. 30,000 feet. Hang limit auto button DL plus D. Disengage hard toggle button not press D. Flight controls tab selected 505. Left flight director toggle button press control. Right flight director toggle button press left autopilot toggle. Right autopilot toggle. Approach mode toggle button not press L plus A. Localizer hold toggle button not press L plus L. Talking flight monitor 01 column 22 of 6. Talking flight monitor window. MCP 01 column MCP window. MCP tab control. Flight controls tab selected 505. Localizer hold toggle button not press L plus F. Approach mode toggle button not press A plus A. 31,000 feet. Talking flight monitor. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft. And talking flight monitor window. TFM collapsed aircraft collapsed hold plus R2 of 5. Nav data collapsed expanded. Hit runways R2 of 2. Gates G1 of 2. Runways R2 of 2. Airport ICAO at 8 blank. 4 runways loaded. Runways data grid. Tools collapsed hold plus 04 of 5. Runways data grid. 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. Number 09 airport ICAO at 8. Runways data grid. 27 R. 27 L data item selected 3 of 4. With 27 20 09 R 09 L data item select. 09 R 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. With 1 on airport ICAO at 8. Bills info edit I read 110.30. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Runways data grid. 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. Number 09 number column 1.
Aircraft is airborne. Aborting action.
Airport ICAO at 8. Runways data airport ICAO at 8. Runways data grid. 27 R data item airport ICAO at 8. Runways data grid. 27 R data item 404 with 127 L data items 09 R data items 09 L data item selected 1 of 4 with 1 airport ICAO at 8. Bills info edit I read 100 destination runway edit red only D not set. Not set. Not set. Not set. Not set.
How do I set the runway?
TFM collapse expanded. Connection collapsed C1 of 3. Control keys collapsed. Choose aircraft collapsed C3. Connection collapsed C1. Control keys collapsed C2 of 3. Choose aircraft collapsed C3 of 3. TFM collapsed hold plus T1 of 5. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Not set. Not set. Runways data grid. 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. Number 09.
Aircraft is airborne. Aborting action.
You can't set the destination.
Airport ICAO at 8. Bills info edit I read 110.30. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Oh. Runways data grid. 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. Number 09. Designator left designator column 2. Heading 93 heading column 3. Designator left number 0. Designator left number 09 number 09 R data item selected 09 L data item selected 1 of 4. Airport ICAO at 8. Runways data grid. 27 R data item 404 with 16304 with column 27 09 L data item selected 1 of 4 with 1 airport ICAO at 8. Land. L G E E G L land. Bills info edit I read 110.30. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Runways. New closed. Talking flight monitor window.
How do you set your runway for your destination?
Talking flight monitor. TFM expanded. Connection to control keys collapsed. Choose aircraft collapsed C3 of 3. Expanded. 777. PMDG P1. PFD1 of 11. Com radio C2 of 11. Nav radio N3 of 11. TCOS T4 of 11. Transponder T5 of 11. Doors T6 of 11. Fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM turnaround T9 of the panels T10 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11. PFD1 of 11. Com radio C2 of 11. Nav radio N3 of 11. TCOS T transponder doors T fuel of 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Turnaround T9 of 11. Panels T10 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11. PFD1 of the com radio C2 of 11. Nav radio N3 of 11. Com radio C2 of 11. PFD1 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of the PFD com radio Nav radio TCOS T4 of 11. TCAS window. Traffic tab control. Ground tab selected 1 of 2. TCAS. Airborne tab selected 2 of 2. Airborne traffic data grid. N12442. Clicks the KDPA data items. Boost 35029. K. N12000. Boost 35029. KDCA to KSTL data item select. N12442. Clicks the KDPA data item select. Boost 350. N12000. Airborne tab selected 2 of 2. Ground tab selected 1. Airborne tabs. Ground tab selected 1 of 2. TCAS. Microsoft Flight Microsoft. TCAS window. Traffic tab control. Ground tab selected 1 of 2. Airborne tab selected 2 of. Ground tab. Airborne tab selected 2 of 2. New closed. Talking flight monitor window. TFM collapse off expanded. Connection collapse expanded. Connection status C3 of. TFT 1 of 11. FMC collapse F11 of 11. Panels P10 of 11. Turnaround T9 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Fuel up 7 of 11. Doors T6 of 11. Transponder T5 of 11. TCOS T4 of 11. NAV radios N3 of 11. COM radio C2 of 11. TFT 1 of 11. FMC collapse F11 of 11. Panels P10 of FMC collapse F11 of 11. Panels P10 of 11. FMC TFT 1 of 11. FMC collapse F11 of 11. Expanded. Left L1 of Gates T. License L1. Connection. Gates TFT 1 of 11. Gates T1 of 2. Airports database A1 of 6. Gates T1 of 2. Airports license L1 of 6. Airports database A1 of 6. Gates T1 of 2. Runways R2 of 2. Gates T1 of 2. Runways R2 of 2. Runways window. Airport icon edit land. 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 Ills info edit land. Destination runway edit red only D not set. Airport icon edit land. Ills info edit land. Airport icon edit land. 4 runways loaded. Runways data grid. Tools collapse alt plus 0405 expanded. Data fold setting log tools collapse alt runways data grid. Ills info edit red. Fred 110.30. Fred 100 F. Airport icon edit egg. Runways data grid. 27R data 27L09R 09L data item selected 1 of 4 with 16301.
Aircraft is airborne. Aborting action.
Aircraft is airborne. Can you not set your runway while you're in the air? That don't make sense.
Runways.
It will not let me.
New closed. Talking flight monitor with Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0.
Oh boy.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.38.2.0. Desktop list. Google Chrome 3 of 39. Widgets toggle button not pressed. Pressed. Pane. Widgets. Unknown. Widgets. Clickable feed widget region start of feed. Widgets. Pane. Widget 60 degrees F partly cloudy start toggle button not pressed. Search toggle search Easter task view file explorer show hidden desktop list. Widget 6 start toggle search toggle search Easter recipes but task view toggle button not pressed. File explorer button file show hidden icons button. Desktop list. Google Chrome 3 widget 60 degrees F. Start toggle. Search toggle button search Easter task view toggle. Notepad 1 running file explorer copilot button. Johnny Chrome 1 copilot button Copilot message copilot edit blank. Responding with ThinkDeeper button. Talk to copilot button. Close button.
Hey, John.
Hey, when flying in the 777 or the 77F, where do I go to set my runway for landing?
In the Boeing 777 or the 777, you set your runway for landing using the Flight Management Computer, FMC. Here's how you can do it. 1. Access the FMC and go to the DEPARR page. Select the arrival option for your destination airport.
Oh, I already did
Choose
that.
the runway.
Never mind. So we're good.
All set then. Fly safe.
Copilot. Copilot button, copilot pin 2 of Microsoft Flight Simulator, Microsoft.
Well, we're on our way, guys.
33,003 feet. 11 FPM.
The only thing I messed up on was the init where it set it for 35,000 instead of 33. So we're actually climbing at
33,007 feet.
Well, we don't have ATC on this flight bugging us, but I'm going to load. Here's what I'm going to do.
Google Chrome SIM market 6 SIM brief security suite SDK should say intentions AI.x2 of 39. Say intentions AI settings button show settings. Record audio pilot input text up delete button ATC intercom new flight button pressed.
Right, hitting new flight, and I'm going to tell say intention to get a
unknown unavailable Windows security dialog. Windows security. Do you want to allow public networks? Allow button. Cancel button. Allow button. Show more button. New flight button. Close the current flight and start a new one. Intercom 80. Delete text. Input text edit. Pilot button. Record audio. Settings button. About colon blank web content. Heading level 1. Heading level 1. Heading level 1. Heading level 1. Settings button shows that record pilot. Input text out. Delete button. ATC. Intercom. New flight button. Rest.
Go ahead and request the IFR for EGLO.
Settings button. Trigger crisis. And port. Discord button.
I'm not really trained to handle VFR comms. I'm more of an IFR guy.
Pilot port. New flight button. Intercom button. ATC map. Delete button. Text output. Input text. Pilot button. Record audio. Settings button shows edit rest.
Alright, let me get
Okay or close
our
button.
flight tour here.
Identity. Headset tab. Controls. Multiplayer. Intercom tab selected. Intercom channel 1 button. Rest. Intercom channel 1 button. Intercom language combo passenger category combo box. Passenger commenter. Tour guide.
Dear guests, we've just climbed to a safe altitude, and you are now free to use your electronic devices. Additionally, our onboard Wi-Fi service is available for your convenience. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of our journey. Thank you.
Control passenger list headsets pilot audio passive audio okay tab intercom okay or tab okay or rest settings button show settings dialog.
So what do you got coming up for us on the way to EGLO?
Clickable ATC, clickable what's new, clickable learning center, case, VFR, ask next go, land, about colon land. VFR,
coming up on our journey to EGLO, we'll be flying near the beautiful Caesar Creek State Park. It's located at your 2 o'clock, about 10 miles out. This park is a haven for outdoor enthusiasts, featuring a large lake that's popular for boating and fishing. The park also has an interesting history, as it was created in the 1970s when the Army Corps of Engineers built a dam on Caesar Creek. It's a great spot for bird watching, and you might even catch a glimpse of a bald eagle soaring above. Keep your eyes peeled for the lush greenery and the shimmering waters from up here.
I'm sorry, I'm really only trained to handle IFR-related comms.
Giving comms to you.
I'm not really trained to handle VFR comms. I'm more of an IFR guy.
Request IFR.
I'm sorry, I'm really only trained to handle IFR-related comms.
.0 link. App. Checkbox with check. Cincinnati Municipal Air. Taxi Tune trademark.
Request an IFR clearance to EGLO.
Look. Cincinnati Municipal Air. Taxi checkbox with jab. Link 121.0. Batis. Link 100 CLR. Link 1 CP Kusa. CTA. Link 1 CTR. Link 100 CTR. Link 100
unable to provide IFR clearance at this time. Please contact departure for IFR clearance.
Link 100 ATFSS. Link 100 FSS. Link 100 GNT. Link 100 RCH. Link 100 SkyOps. Link 1 TW. Link 1 Flight ID. VFR FLT Falbo. Clickable KT James check app. Link 1 ATIS. Link 1 CL. Link 1 CP Kusa. CTA. Link 1 CT. Link 1 CT. Link 1 Dev. Link 100 AT Dev. Link 118 point.
Ghost Star International requesting IFR clearance to EGLO.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Microsoft Flight Sim. Microsoft 295 knots. 33,001 feet. Transponder 2312.
Legion 9er Delta Whiskey Heavy, cleared to Heathrow. Direct B dock. Then is filed. Squawk 2312 and ident. Legion 9er Delta Whiskey Heavy, radar contact. 2 miles northeast of Green Acres Airport at flight level 330, heading 027. New Lebanon altimeter 29.85, descend and maintain flight level 310. Clear to direct B dock.
Giving comms to you.
I've got the comms now, John.
You might need to respond to ATC. Can you request that they change our cruise altitude to flight level 330 on our flight plan?
I'll request the altitude change to FL 330.
Make sure they update it on our flight plan too.
request that altitude change to FL330 on our flight plan.
Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. Say intent talking flight monitor column MCP column 4407.
I'll handle
MCP
it,
window.
John.
MCP tab control. Flight localizer hold toggle button not angle limit auto button localizer approach mode toggle button not press right auto pilot toggle left auto pilot toggle right flight director top left flight director flight controls tab selected 5 of 5.
to our flight plan for a change in cruise altitude
Microsoft Flight Sim say intention say column talking flight monitor 02 column star initial altitude ops 31.0 CDU commands talking flight monitor document MCP 01 column 117 MCP window MCP tab control flight left flight director toggle button flight controls tab Microsoft Flight say intent talking flight monitor talking flight monitor
Allegiant Niner Delta Whiskey Heavy.
connection collapse C1 control keys to choose aircraft the connection collapse C choose air expanded 700 PFD com radio Z nav T trans north fuel MCP turnaround T9 of panels P10 of 11 FMC collapse F PFD 1 of 11 com radio Z2 nav radio ZT cos T full transponder T north T6 of fuel F7 MCP turnaround T9 of 11 panels P10 of 11 FMC collapse F11 of 11 expanded left L1 of 3 right R2 center seat left L1 of 3 FMC display as red only alt plus home mail hidden rep but mode plus I RTE but mode plus T comp VNAV but mode legs but mode plus debark but mode hold but mode plus A but mode plus T
Contact Indianapolis Center
fix but
on
mode plus S menu but mode plus U
120.57
execute but mode plus E space but mode plus up scratch but edit alt but line select mode edit red next page but mode clear scratch but mode refresh but mode plus R FMC com but mode plus N radios but mode plus O ATN but mode plus N
Allegiant Niner Delta Whiskey
E but
Heavy.
mode plus X FMC display edit red only alt hidden rep but mode plus I RTE but mode plus T VNAV but mode plus B legs but mode plus G dev Arkansas but mode plus A hold but mode plus H rock but mode plus P fix but clear
Indianapolis
scratch refresh but
Center,
mode plus R
Allegiant Niner Delta Whiskey. Heavy evening, maintaining flight level 330.
Allegiant Niner Delta Whiskey, Heavy, Indianapolis Center, good evening.
left FMC ALTN once FMC com but mode plus N radios but mode plus O FMC com but mode plus N refresh but mode plus R
I don't
FMC
see
radios but mode plus
where-
O ATN but mode plus N delete but mode plus X FMC display edit red only alt plus home ALTN 1/2 edit rep but mode plus I RTE but mode plus T
I wish. I don't know how you can change your cruise altitude on this one.
VNAV but mode legs but mode plus G dev Arkansas but hold but mode plus A rock but mode fix but mode plus menu but mode plus U previous page line select mode edit red only alt plus next page but clear scratch refresh but FMC radios but ATN but delete but mode FMC edit rep but RTE but mode edit rep but thrust lid FMC display edit thrust lid CL1 99.6% land wind 6 less index approach rate infinite slash land 1 less item nav data greater land 2 less pose AL land 3 less perf land 4 less thrust limb save greater land 5 less takeoff load greater land 6 less approach main greater init slash land 1 less item nav data greater land 2 less pose ALTN greater init slash rep index land 1 less item nav data greater land 2 less pose ALTN greater colon less pose ALTN land 3 less perf land 4 less thrust limb save greater land 5 less takeoff load greater land 4 land 3 less perf per minute GRW TCRZ alt 1 613.2 floor to 350 init rep VNAV but mode plus B RT init rep but mode plus TFM collect expanded choose aircraft collapse C3 of connection collapse TFM init rep but mode plus FMC display at GRW TCR per minute GRW 1 613.1 floor to 350 scratch for that alt plus S selected double 3 unselected CDU1 ready the Graph Ohio in per minute GR1 613.0 floor to 350 fuel cost index
Invalid entry
127.0 pounds calc 85 scratch but cleared init rep but mode plus I FMC display edit red O scratch but edit alt plus S land
wind data uplink ready
CDU1 ready
FL330 invalid entry
scratch but cleared land FMC land invalid 6 less index thrust limb greater 5 RVSM step size 4
wind data uplink ready
14.0% reserve CRs 3 486.0 ZFW mid 2 126.8 pounds calc land per minute GRW TCRZ alt 1 6 fuel cost index 2 126.8 pounds calc ZFW 3 4 reserve 4 21 steps 5 RVS 6 less index thrust limb greater wind data uplink land wind data uplink 4 21.6 14.0 step size 4 20 steps 5 RVSM 6 less index thrust limb greater wind data uplink ready land
How do I get to the wind data?
per minute land wind 6 less index thrust limb greater wind data 6 less index thrust limb greater
Let me see, maybe it's over here.
act RTE 1 land wind 6 less RTE 2 legs RTE data greater 5. JHW.830 slash 4. Act RTE 1 lex 1 slash 01. Climb 0.829. Land. Wind 6. Colon. 6. Colon less. RTE. 2. Legs. RTE. Data. Greater. Wind data upland. Wind data uplink ready. 6. Less RT. 5. JHW.830 slash Florida 300. Minute rep button mode plus FMC. Delete button mode ATN button mode plus N. Radios button mode plus FMC com button mode plus M. Refresh button mode plus R. FMC com button mode plus M. Radios button mode plus Nav rate. FMC display edit red only on Nav radio. VORL VORR 1. 114. CRS 2. CRS radio CRS 2. ADFL ADFR 3. ILS 4. Park. Land 5. Pre-select 6. Pre-select 6. Wind data
At our
uplink
10
ready.
o'clock,
Land.
about 27 miles out, you'll spot the Lima Stadium. This isn't just any sports complex, it's a historical monument in its own right. Built in the 1930s, it has hosted countless high school football games and community events. The stadium is a beloved landmark for the locals, and it's known for its classic design and the memories it holds for generations of sports fans. From up here, you can appreciate its size and the role it plays in bringing the community together. It's like the local version of the Coliseum, minus the gladiators and lions, of course.
Execute but previous page button scratch blinds. Clears refresh FMC com but radios button mode plus O. ATN button FMC display edit red only alt plus home face info 1 slash 4. Minute rep button mode plus I. RTE button mode plus T. VNAV button mode plus V. Legs button mode plus G. Dev Arkansas button mode plus A. Hole button mode plus H. Rod button mode plus P. Fix button mode plus F. Menu button mode execute but previous page scratch with that line select. Next page button mode plus down arrow. FMC dis- Left FMC fix info once. Minute rep button mode plus I. RTE button mode plus T. Act RT. FMC display. Act RT VS 1. Q29JH the plant 2. Q84 plant 3. Plant 4. Plant 5. Offset 6. Less RTE 2. Offset. Com 15. Direct 5,150.
Delta Whiskey. Heavy Indianapolis Center. Contact Cleveland Center on 135.1.
Yeah, I don't know how to get that.
Contacting Cleveland Center on 135.1. Allegiant Niner
Left
Delta
FMC
Whiskey
Q
Heavy.
closed. Left FMC at RTE 12 slash 5 window. MCP window. Talking. MCP window. MCP tab control. Left flight director toggle button press right flight director left autopilot right autopilot toggle approach mode toggle button not press A localizer hold toggle button and toggle button D alt plus D. Disengage on toggle button flight controls tab select left flight director toggle right flight director toggle button left autopilot toggle button press control plus shift plus L.
Allegiant Niner Delta Whiskey. Heavy Cleveland Center. Good evening.
Right auto. Disengage hard right autopilot toggle button press control plus shift approach mode left flight director toggle button approach mode toggle button not press A left flight director toggle button press approach mode toggle left flight direct approach mode localizer hold hang limit auto button D alt plus localizer approach right auto left autopilot toggle button press control right autopilot toggle button press control plus shift plus R left auto right flight director toggle button left flight director toggle button press flight controls tab selected 505 VOR IL slash DS cat RW32 IMFD left flight controls tab selected 5 left flight direct flight disengage R toggle button not press flight controls tab selected 505 altitude tab selected 105 altitude entity selected 33,000 intervene button I VNAV toggle intervene button I altitude entity selected 33,000 free unselected MCP altitude 35,000 minus 33 FPM minus 29 FPM minus 22 FPM minus 24 FPM minus 27 FPM minus 29 FPM minus 30 FPM intervene but altitude entity selected 33 unselect MCP altitude 33,000 intervene button I VNAV toggle button press B level change toggle but hold toggle button not altitude tab selected 105 speed tab selected 205 land FMC unselected Intervene toggle button not pressed. Managed edit read only E selected FMC. Land. FMC unselected. Land. FMC. Land. Land. FMC. FMC. Intervene toggle button not pressed. CLV/con button C. Auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button pressed L. Speed brake edit red only down. 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 Speed tab selected 2. Speed brake edit red only is down. O. D. Down. 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 Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Managed edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene toggle button not pressed CLV/com but auto drop right arm to engage auto brakes combo box off. Speed brake edit red only is down. Speed tab selected 2 of 5. Managed edit red intervene toggle button not pressed I. CLV/com button C. Intervene toggle button not pressed I. CLV/com button C. Auto throttle grouping. Left arm toggle button pressed L. CLV/com button C. Auto throttle right arm toggle button pressed engage toggle button auto brakes combo. Speed brake edit red only is down. Speed tab selected. Managed edit red only E selected FMC. Intervene toggle button not pressed CLV/com button C. MCP. MCP. Talking flight monitor window. TFM expanded. Connection control keys. Choose aircraft collapse. Connection collapsed. Expanded. Control keys collapsed. C2 of choose aircraft collapsed. C expanded. 700. TFD 1 of 11. Com radio. Nav radio. T cos transponder. T5 doors. T6 of 11. Fuel up 7 of 11. MCPM 8 of 11. Turn around T9 of 11. Panels P10 of 11. FMC collapsed F11 of 11. TFD 1 of 11. FMC panels P10 of 11. FMPFD 1. ASL altitude edit red only is 32,900. Ag altitude edit red. Heading edit red only Z53. Indicated airspeed edit red only I294. Ground speed edit red only G5. Mach edit red only 0.82. Vertical speed edit red only V30. Altimeter edit red only T10. Pitch edit red only. Bank edit flight direct. ASL altitude edit red TFD.
Well, this is cool, guys.
TFD.
You know, I'll give you my overall on this.
New post. Talking flight monitor window. Microsoft Flight 6. Microsoft.
Even though there's things you got to go through and set, you see how easy it was really once I do a flight
At our
like
10
this,
o'clock, about 27 miles out,
times,
you'll
I'll
see
have
the
it down
famous
pat.
Cedar Point Amusement Park, known as the roller coaster capital of the
isn't that
world.
bad, but
Cedar
you're
Point
gonna have
boasts
them
a
take
whopping
off
70
speeds.
rides, including 17 world-class roller coasters. It opened way back in 1870, making it the second oldest operating amusement park in the United States. Thrill seekers from all over the globe flock here to experience the adrenaline-pumping coasters like Millennium Force and Steel Vengeance. From up here, you can appreciate the sheer size of the park and maybe even spot the iconic coasters twisting and turning. It's a paradise for anyone who loves a good thrill ride, and it holds a special place in the hearts of many who have visited over the years. Just imagine the screams of joy echoing up to us.
VOR not available.
Go get my... Over here. This might still be on the screen reader.
Microsoft Flight. Talking flight mounted say intention. Star initial ops 31. Ops 30 volume select new desktop audio checkbox not checked.
There. Tell Brandon Armstrong, where'd you guys go?
Sending to Brandon Armstrong.
Send. Alright, now I've got an alarm going off and I don't know why. Hold on, you guys. I got an alarm going off, but... Hold on, you guys. I'm having some problems here.